Poking was weird. It was supposed to be
always
like you
been
poke
weird.
somebody because you like them, and then it was like, okay, this is a little
Creeps
a little
took
much.
advantage.
Because it's weird in real life too. If you poke somebody that you like, that's kind of weird.
Yeah.
So it's even weirder online, I feel like.
That's the weird part of Facebook is like it's you follow people and you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
so it's creepy enough,
Yeah.
but the poking,
All the
It's made by a
terminology is
creepy
weird.
guy.
but the poking couldn't make it.
Yeah, Zuckerberg is kind of a freak, dude, when you think about it.
He based it off of his social norm.
What, you just follow people and then you poke them? What do you mean?
Mark, that's kind of weird.
Apparently you got to
See
post
when people are looking at your shit.
posts around 3 p.m.
Yeah, and Fridays.
Fridays, really?
Yeah.
I don't know, dude. Are you sure about that? Because I feel like that's when everybody's doing other shit,
Well,
right?
for music, people are happier on Friday. So if you like post it during the workday on a Friday, like people are more likely to engage with it.
like before 5, maybe.
Yeah.
You know,
4 or 5. I've been doing a lot
Before
of
they get up.
I've been doing a lot of like overnight ones. Like I'll post a video at
Yeah.
like 4 in the morning, and then when people wake up and the first thing they check Facebook goes to their newsfeed, look at it, still don't like it. Whatever.
Dude, we do that on
But they saw
Instagram
it this
sometimes.
time.
Gave it a
Post something
fighting
at like
shot.
11 and like get some traction with it, and it'll just stay in the newsfeed because nobody's posting anything overnight.
I like pretty
So
much
people see it first thing in the morning too.
I pretty much gave up on Instagram until like literally yesterday, dude. Like I wasn't even gonna promote our thing on Instagram, and then I was just like, you know what, I'll do it. He's Brazilian, fuck it. And then it just fucking happened, dude. Now Instagram's my favorite thing.
You guys
Dude,
are
I'm all
Instagram
about
famous
IG,
in
dude. We're
Brazil.
IG famous, dude. Fucking huge in
Should do a
Brazil.
live show down there, dude.
I wonder how many poor girls have said the same thing. I don't know. He's Brazilian. Fuck it. And now we're huge.
That was it. That was literally.
That was the turning point in my career.
So young too. Live from the studio,
I'm Jimmy Selesky.
Merrick Glazer,
Tonight we have Them Animals, 2 of the members of Them Animals, right?
them boys,
Jamie,
Yes, sir.
Zeller, and I didn't catch your
Chris.
last name. Chris.
Stole.
Chris
Chris.
Stoll.
Stoll. You play the guitar?
Play guitar, yes.
Both play guitar, right?
Yeah.
When did you guys? This EP, what's it called again?
Self-titled, I guess.
Yeah, it's
Oh.
self-titled. We had a title for it, but then we just decided to self-title.
Was that
it.
song "Losing Feeling"? Was that something that you had already put out?
Yeah.
Okay,
We
that
did,
was
a
like.
lo-fi version of it like a year ago.
Okay, I was gonna say because when I went to your SoundCloud, I was like checking it out, and I was like, and I was listening to the EP today. I was like, I think this might be the same song.
Yeah,
It's
it
a lot.
is.
It's a lot faster this time around. We kind of
So this is pretty much this EP that you're putting out tomorrow is pretty much like your guys' first release as a band, as like a full body of work. Would you say?
Yeah,
officially,
for
I
sure.
guess, yeah.
We had a demo tape we recorded live a couple years ago, and then we did the Losing Feeling thing last year.
How many-
This is the first thing that we have like 35 tracks per song on.
How many of the songs that you did on the demo thing from a couple years ago made it onto this one?
None.
Oh, 0.
None. So you wrote all new material.
Yeah, we still play like one of those live, but it sounds completely different.
Yeah, you guys played whatever the solo was. It was like the box solo. Oh,
Oh, on Day After Day? Yeah.
You guys did that song.
Grass.
Oh, you mean
That's
the
like
riff
the
and
riff.
graph?
Yeah.
And grass?
The grass is turning blue. The first track,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
You guys played that at Joe Squared, and I wasn't sure if that was something off the new EP or something that like
Oh, that's the
you guys
opening.
been doing for a while.
Yeah, that's the first track on the EP.
But that was, I think that was the first thing we'd written when we got Curran, right? The new drummer. That was one of the first things we'd written.
Yeah, because that was after we wrote Losing Feeling.
Yeah, you kind of had that like in your pocket, and
Yeah.
Losing Feeling was like the first thing we like had me on guitar and the drummer now on drums, and that was kind of like already written when he came in, and then Grass was like the first like
Like band
Collaborative.
composition.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, he used to play
exactly.
drums. So originally
Oh,
he
yeah,
played
Dude, that's
drums.
why I thought you played drums, dude. I don't know. When I look at you, when I just look at you,
natural drummer.
I
That's
feel-
drummer
Drummer
vibe.
vibe.
Drums
you
to
look
lead
like somebody
guitar.
who would drum.
in
I
this
feel like a
same
drummer
band.
still. It's weird.
Do you prefer the handheld mic? I feel like that's a drummer thing.
Yeah,
but I feel
dude,
like-
that's
is
a
it making-
drummer
Is it
thing,
making
dude.
noise though? Is it not?
No, you're good.
Alright, cool. I can't
No,
hear
it
it.
sounded great.
He
dude.
still drums from time to time. Like when we jam on like a new idea, he usually hops on drums. and
Would
we,
you
like,
say that that's
get
like
a-
pretty much how you guys go about the songwriting process? Like a lot of bands, you'll see like one of the guys is like the main dude. He's like the guy who pretty much writes all the songs and he brings it to rehearsal, and then the other guys kind of like fill in the gaps. You know what I'm saying? But do you guys more so like, are you just all getting together and writing these songs as a group?
I guess it depends on the song.
A lot of these are older ones, so most of these are like Jamie pretty much wrote most of the. Well, he wrote all the lyrics, so all the lyrics is his, and then most of the guitar stuff from the very early stuff was him or our old bass player who he used to be our old guitar player, and then he moved, and then he became our old bass player.
Then he moved again.
He's since moved, so he's in Portland currently.
Shout out Blaine.
Yeah, shout out to
I know
Blaine.
you're watching this.
Yeah. So who's in the current band lineup right now?
Well, we've got the two of us, our drummer Chris Curran, who actually works with Chris Stoll,
we work together. And
Shout out.
just kind of
and
figured out how to play music.
Duracard.
Oh, shout.
Duracard?
That's our company, yeah. That's the
Oh,
company.
I thought that was the name of your
I thought
bassist.
that was
I was like,
amazing.
damn, you really traded up for
No.
a bassist.
That'd be a cool bass.
No, our
name,
new bassist is Nolan Kerbert.
That's a good name too. That's a good bass
Yeah.
name. That sounds like a good bass name,
It's like a
dude.
John
He's solid,
Entwistle
man.
kind of name.
He's got like a really thick tone, and we've like modified some of the songs since he came in, and I kind of like it's a little grungier, which is what we want to go with.
So how long has the current lineup been together?
Yeah.
4 weeks.
Yeah.
4 weeks?
Maybe.
Yeah.
8.
Well, the
maybe
bass
the
player is
most.
brand new, so he played at Joe Square with us on July 1st.
Okay.
That was our
But that was
first-
his first gig, and his second gig's
Yeah.
gonna be
Tell.
Hardscape.
Oh, you know what? You guys did make a mention of that. You did make when
Yeah.
you like
It was
said
his-
something. It was his first gig, and I was like, couldn't tell.
Yeah, he was like singing backups on the
Yeah,
Psycho Killer cover.
That was actually a fun
You
story.
did do Psycho Killer. I remember that. We were driving to Ocean City. I don't think I had first. I don't know. Somehow I had never heard that song or like never paid attention to it. I was driving up to Ocean City and I was in passenger seat and my friend was next to me and he was like, "Dude, this song's great." And it was Psycho Killer and I was like, "Ooh, this song is pretty good." And then like 2 days later, I went there and you guys were playing it. I was like, "Oh shit!
It is good.
Oh my god, it was good, dude. It was a good cover."
It's a great
It-
song.
It was
I love
funny
that
because we had
song.
talked about potential covers to do like a while ago, and that was one that Jamie had mentioned. But I was like, that's insane. There's so many parts, and we can't figure it out. And then like for like the second day we jammed with Nolan, he just started playing the bass line. I was like, is that Psycho Killer? He's like, yeah, man. And he knew every change, the chorus, the bridge, all that. So I just took the weekend and I figured out how to play it, and then brought that in and.
Yeah, I came back and they like already knew how to play it.
Yeah,
and they were like,
because the
"You
drums
just
are
get the
pretty
words
basic,
down
so
and we'll
Curtin
go."
just kind of had free range to just because it's pretty much just a metronome. I mean, the Stop Making Sense album, he just comes out with a tape player and just plays a drum loop. So, you know,
Dude, I feel like that's a smart move incorporating like when you're doing the original sets. What did you guys do at Joe Square? 45 minutes? Was that 30 or what was that?
Last time, 35.
Well, you were
But
headlining.
We went pretty quick.
Okay. I feel like it's smart, to have one cover because the Yatones did that too. They did like the Nirvana song.
yeah,
Remember?
about a girl.
Oh, it's a smart move because it's a good way. Because like, unfortunately, it's kind of
Oh
weird.
no, they did "Fell in Love with a Girl" by the White
They
Stripes.
did 2 covers.
They did. Oh, the Yatones fucking broke out 2
Yeah.
covers. They were
Someone
blowing up
did
their
a
spot.
Pixies
They didn't play
cover
a
that
single
night,
original,
too. I
dude.
forget that.
They like fucking phoned in that
So many
set.
covers.
Yatones,
Wait,
dude.
I
Jesus.
don't remember the Pixies cover though.
I think that
Um,
was that the first set? I don't know.
Oh, the
The one
Oh,
last
you're
October.
thinking of the first band.
Bloomer.
What were they called?
Bloomer.
Bomb Rodler?
Bloomer, yeah.
Bloomer. Bomb Rodler.
Dude,
I'm
they're
gonna write
playing
that down,
Hardscape too.
They sounded a lot like they had like a very Vampire Weekend feel to me, which I fuck with. I
They
kind of
used
like.
to do like Grateful Dead covers too.
Yeah,
Like
they're-
the first
they're
couple
like
of
a
gigs, they
jam
were
band,
playing
I
at
would-
Baltimore Free Farm doing that stuff.
And those dudes that played right before you, the Faux Furs, they were young kids, dude.
Yeah,
They
they're
were
from
like-
Chicago.
Yeah, dude. They were like, I was looking at them and I was like, whoa, these are young kids, dude. This is crazy. I don't know. It's just it
Long
was
way
like
from home.
They
That's
were
pretty
cool, man. They were kind of like Tame Impala-y. Maybe
yeah, and
more
they
like
had
Portugal
they had a
Man.
very full sound. It was dope.
They had the light mat on the floor.
Oh yeah, the red
Didn't they?
light mat.
Yeah.
That's like the
Fucking
guy
next
was just
level,
standing on top of it.
That's pretty cool. We don't have a lot of.
We should get some graphics, man. Just like take a video of a lava lamp. Second time I mentioned lava lamp today.
yeah, I
Get
think
like a
then,
little
like,
small
just
projector.
projector. Yeah.
I think
I
the
put it
lava.
in my pedal board case because it opens up and just have it shine from there.
Yeah, but you gotta let the people see that, dude.
True.
Well,
You
I
gotta
meant,
do
like,
it for the
I meant
people.
like towards us, but now that I'm realizing there's not the distance.
Yeah.
it needs to be like in the back of the room.
You need a bigger lava lamp, and you need.
It's something overlaid and something. What do they call the liquid light like Pink Floyd?
The liquid light.
You know what I'm talking about? The liquid light shows they used to do in like the 70s, like Pink Floyd would play, and they would have the guy doing the Joshua Light shows. That's what it is. Look
I
that
never
shit up.
heard of that. I mean,
Look it
I've
up.
heard of the concept. I didn't know they were called the Joshua Light.
I think they took
shows.
basically like a high school projector kind of thing. You know, like the overhead projectors.
Dope.
They would have a little like dish of colored liquid rather, and just drop more colors in it and spin it, and then just shoot up onto
Oh,
the stage.
yeah.
And that's where you get the weird. Like
That's, I guess, like that
Jefferson
70s show,
Airplane.
right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like all that
exactly.
shit.
Like
Oh,
Jefferson
okay,
Airplane
dude.
and all- yeah.
They had a lot of
I had
good
no idea
ideas
that's how
back
they did
then.
that.
We should get that shit, man.
Yeah, just like a high school projector.
And
It's on a
then- and
Scantron.
We'll get one of our friends to just drop lights or colors into it and shoot it out.
Dude, that's the trendy thing to do though. Is use that old stuff. Everybody
Dude,
in Baltimore's
yeah.
releasing a cassette. But
Well, I was thinking
not
we do
us.
it digital, but that would be into the
Yeah,
projector
you know,
as well.
I don't know how I feel about the cassette thing.
No, I don't like
It's
it.
a
at
little
all.
cool,
too
but,
trendy. It's
like,
a little too
yeah.
trendy.
Who's got a cassette player?
Exactly.
Nobody
Yeah,
I
a
know
lot
has a
of
car.
cars.
Pretty much everybody
I
in
don't know.
Hamden has one.
Yeah, exactly. You're gonna be huge in Hamden, dude. You're gonna be huge. I don't know. It's like, I mean, if you're doing it along with a CD and Spotify release, which I think is the most important thing. I mean, in this day and age, almost
get it
any
out there.
type of physical hardware of your music is almost obsolete at this point. You know,
Yeah.
which is kind of crazy to think about. But the cassette is more so just like, yeah, it's just like, oh, dude, he's got a cassette. It's so cool. It's
I
like,
bet-
no, it's
yeah.
not
I guess
fucking
like the
cool.
gift option. It's like this is like a special presentation.
If
That's
somebody
more
gave
for,
me a
like, vinyl,
cassette,
though.
Yeah, if
I
it
don't
comes
know.
with like a MP3 download or something.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
or like if it's
Or
like
a
a
t-shirt would
collector
be cool.
thing. If it's like one of
A
100
bundle.
that get released or something, I don't know.
It's borderline more
That's what we do with our
annoying
CD or speculatively.
than when people do stuff on vinyl. When people do stuff on vinyl, it's kind of like, this is almost kind of too trendy hipster for me.
I love the
Yeah, I like
vinyl.
the vinyl too, man.
But I
There's
guess
there's
those-
like albums that only sound good on vinyl.
well, that's
for
because
me.
back in the day they used to, when they were recording analog style, yeah, analog sounded better because when you're doing digital record, did you guys record yours digitally?
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you were to release yours on vinyl, it'd be pointless.
Oh, yeah. No,
It'd be
like-
stupid.
True. But I do like the collection aspect and the tangible.
Yeah, I agree with
You
that.
should see
the
this dude's vinyl collection.
It's
It's insane.
no, see, but what I'm saying is because vinyl, like that analog recording, actually does sound better
Transcribes
than
the
digital.
actual
because
press.
it's because when you record something in digital, they just do that like binary sampling, right? You know what I'm talking about, where it's just like 0 or 1, and it just comes in and like there's 44.1 thousand little things that either hit 0 or 1, and it literally just digitally reproduces your sound like a telephone does. But the analog sound was legitimately like it recorded what was actually there.
magnetic tapes and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you record something in analog and have like one of those classic vinyls, like the 50s, 60s, stuff like that, then it's sick. But these bands record in digital now, and they come out with the vinyl. It's
Yeah.
like, okay, I get it. But anyone who's sitting here trying to convince me that sounds better, they don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
See, I don't even have so like my turntable's not isolated, and my speakers aren't. They're some old speakers from like when my dad was a kid. They're like, they're not nice. So I'm not. It doesn't sound any better than if I plugged my MP3 player into it, but it's still cool.
Mm.
It's like the fact you physically put it on there, and it's got the crackles if it's an older one. and-
Yeah.
Well, there's
and
albums like new albums like or newer albums like the Black Keys Turn Blue. I
Yeah.
heard that ahead of time online or like on a CD or something, and I didn't like it. And I went to his house and it was playing one day on vinyl, and I was like, "What the fuck is this?" And he told me it was that album, and I
Yeah.
bought it on vinyl, and I think it's like one of the best albums
Like
they've
people
put
do
out.
master and stuff for vinyl still, like if they're bigger. I know, like Jack White, he's a big proponent of
Oh,
all
yeah,
that. So
dude.
he's making vinyl things that are mastered.
Oh,
and
dude,
made
like
for-
his single album, his solo album. I mean,
Oh yeah.
I
it
would-
like
his-
projects
his
like
second
a
one.
like a hologram of like this
Oh,
weird
yeah.
angel
He put
thing.
out
If
that,
you
like,
put a light over it,
super deluxe edition. I think he like was trying to win like a world record or something because it's got like two different coatings. Like the one side's matte, the one side's glossy, and there's like you said, there's like a hologram etched in the middle, and the front side you play backwards from the inside out or something, and then the other side you play from the outside in. And it's got like every feature you can pack into
Wow.
a vinyl. So like. it was
he
kinda
does own
like-
his own record company though,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
he can do that.
I
Kind
feel
of
like most of the bigger record companies that are putting out, especially like with the singer songwriter or even like rock type stuff, they're probably recording all their stuff in analog. I would assume
Oh,
most
the
of the hip
analog's
hop
coming
is getting
back for sure,
recorded
yeah.
in anything with instruments. I would say because if you're recording fucking a hip hop song where all the sounds are computer generated, then what the fuck's the point of recording?
Yeah, a
analog?
lot of
Doesn't
pop
make any
shit, I
fucking
guess,
sense.
is becoming the digital.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, dude, that band Alva, they're recording everything in analog right
tape,
now.
yeah.
So okay, I'm actually curious though. So I was told this EP was supposed to cruise out sometime in February, but there was a slight delay. I imagine.
We
Unless-
did most of it ourselves,
Okay.
other
Pretty
than
much
the
all of
drums.
it, yeah.
I was wondering what, and you just said that your current lineup is only 4 weeks old. So
Yeah,
that
our
have
old
to,
bass player
that didn't
was
have much to
on
do with
this.
it, though.
it didn't have. I was going to ask. Yeah, was it? Did that have anything
bass,
to do with
bass
that?
tracks went down pretty early and pretty quickly, so it wasn't much of that. Really, what it was just. I mean, I think the biggest delays were from the fact that we did this all after work.
Yeah.
Monday through Friday, then maybe a few hours on Saturday, and it was just. Some days we couldn't get somebody in there, and other days we could. So it was
Yeah.
just.
And then we were mixing like out of state with the guy. So there
Where
was
were you
a lot
guys
of, like-
recording and stuff? Like, where were you?
Practice
so
space.
We did the drums at Orion Studios. Which is
Dude,
where
I
we
recorded at
also-
Orion.
Really? We have a practice space there.
Really?
Yeah, like
dude,
it's
the
like a
guy who
room all the
runs it,
time.
Mike.
Mike.
He's like an old
Yeah,
white
he's
Mike
selling
Potter.
to John. Yeah.
Little
Have
old
you ever-
hippie dude. Yeah, she's chilling.
Have you ever
He's cool.
talked to him?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I was talking to him earlier.
He's all-
Dude, he
On my way
fucking
over.
worked on the Hubble Space Telescope.
Oh, I didn't know that.
If you go into his office, he's got all these NASA things. And I was sitting there when I was like 19. I was recording there. I was talking to him. I was like, "Yeah, what's up with all this stuff?" He's like, like I don't know. I used to work for NASA in the 80s, and I helped build the Hubble Space Telescope.
all
So that's what that is.
nonchalant like that.
Yeah, dude, he was super nonchalant. And he was like, "But like once I retired from NASA, I was like, I really like the idea of sound construction." And so I just decided, and then he built that whole studio. He told me how he did it and everything, all the money that went into it.
He's a cool dude.
I used to just sit there and we would talk back and forth just about like how sound waves work and shit like that, because he really got that concept, dude.
Yeah, that guy's awesome, dude.
Dude.
We have him listed on our like thank you on our EP.
Dude, he
Oh yeah.
when we were
It was so cheap to track the drums.
he explained
Like,
convolution
really
to me
helped
and
us out.
shit, and I was like, oh my god, dude, that's crazy. I didn't know that was
convoluted answer, man. I had to expect that.
dude, that guy is sick. Mike Potter, dude.
Yeah,
Shouts
shout
out Orion Studios. But anyway, I'm sorry, I fucking went on a tangent. What were you saying? My bad.
So you did the drums at
Oh,
Orion.
yeah, so we went to Orion for drums. Vocals we cut in his mom's basement in Catonsville. which-
Makeshift vocal booth with like
Oh,
a
We had a-
carpet or not a
We
carpet.
had like a blanket draped
draped from the
behind
ceiling.
him. We had I
Foam
made
thing
this
in front of
foam.
us. Oh.
Classic.
I had this foam like 3-wall thing that was the mic was coming out of, and then it was still the ceilings were like maybe like 10 feet at the most. They were super low, so we.
Oh,
ended
dude,
up-
they're like 7 feet,
yeah,
maybe.
maybe 8.
And what did you? So you guys use a blanket?
So we just
Yeah.
pinned a blanket to the ceiling, and it
Took some shelves like on
There you
both
go.
sides of me and made like a foam thing out of cardboard.
Nice.
And then hung like a comforter in the back off of like one of those standalone like
Nice.
hanger type of things.
it was like strangely dead. It like actually kind of worked.
Hustle
Yeah.
and flow shit
was
right there.
weird.
Dude. That's
but
crazy.
like Chris basically produced everything, so he got like Shure 57 mics.
Oh, like yeah, I
SM57s.
picked up an SM57.
Yeah,
so we
dude, but
recorded
that was
the guitar like
that
through
was
the
for all the
amps.
instruments, and then we had I just got a.
what did you use for the vocals?
Some Samson condenser, large diaphragm kind of thing.
Okay, yeah, I know what you're saying.
I can't remember the number. It's
But for at drums you track him at Orion.
Oh, yeah,
so
we had-
he,
yeah,
you
we
got
had
the
10
best
tracks.
shit.
we had 10 tracks for that one.
Okay,
So
yeah,
that was-
he used that. He probably used that little sub bass thing too. It looked like a drum.
looked like a
Yeah,
small
yeah.
right on your
snare
kick drum.
Yeah.
That shit was sick, dude.
But dude, they spent like 2 hours setting up, like taping the fuck
And he
out of the
doesn't
drums.
and I don't think he
charged
charges-
us
yeah,
like
he doesn't charge you.
$25 an hour for those
I think
2
yeah,
hours.
it's at least half price.
We
you
got it
said.
there for under. I think what did we pay? 150
It was dirt cheap. Yeah.
for
For the
5
whole-
hours.
It was a steal,
And
man.
we
For the
knocked
whole
it
EP?
out. We knocked the drums out in 5 hours.
Well, yeah, props
That's
to Chris.
smooth. Yeah,
props to
the
Chris
drummer
Curran.
'cause he
He was
spent
on
like
his shit
he
that
spent like
day.
the 2 weeks leading up to that, like just going to the space and metronome and just every hit
Dude.
was like categorized and noted, and he knew exactly
dude,
which made the whole world difference.
I have fucking not horror stories, but just like, dude, when a drummer can't keep with the metronome and you're trying to record an album, I mean,
Or like just
you're
like
just
sometimes
watching
they
money
hit
drop
the
out of your
crash here,
pocket.
sometimes they don't hit it. They don't do that fill, or they don't know how the fills go. Like he knew every. Stick
Yeah, and they
hit.
don't normally like to comp in drum takes either. Normally, drum takes they like to fucking nail it in one spot because
Yeah.
those
Yeah.
cymbal bleed overs and stuff like
Actually,
that.
we only had to really patch in like once or twice. It was like just and like for like a split
Yeah.
bar, like half a measure or something. He was pretty on point, man. He did a good job, so that helped. It was cool too though, because it took us like an hour and a half, 2 hours almost to set up, because they were like just this ringing in the floor tom and the snare, and it was just like the most attention.
And Chris and I had to leave
I
because Chris was fucking drunk.
showed up a little drunk. So I
So I
might
had to
have,
take him to 7-Eleven to get coffee.
allegedly though.
Dude, when I showed up at that place at first, first of all, I had never been there. I had never been to that area before. So when I first was driving out there, I was like, "Where the fuck is it?" It was like it's in the middle of it's almost like
It's
a
an industrial
creepy,
park.
Dude, it's in
oh,
Morrill Park, man. That place is fucking
Yeah.
white trash.
Dude,
man.
yeah. Well, you said it, dude. You said it. You said it.
Look, hey, if anybody from Morrill Park's got some shit to talk,
No
I'm
one,
over here.
no one
Look,
is
just go out to
listening.
the
from
Royal
Park.
Farms
Trust
and
me.
hang out outside of it and count how many old gross dudes aren't wearing shirts.
Dunkin' Donuts Wi-Fi is not
You'll
that
get, like,
powerful
7.
out there for them to be listening. Right now.
I don't know, man. Cold brew coffee is a big sell.
Oh man, yeah, it's wild down there. But you guys are like, I'm gathering from this. My next question was going to be, you guys aren't signed or anything, like completely independent.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
Well, Top Half Dead Records.
we made a fake label for our release.
Smart move.
We signed up with this thing and puts it out on, like, we try to put it out on Spotify and all those places, but it has to you have to specify when you put it out there that your label, and if you don't put one, they'll give you like an arbitrary number code thing. So we had some fun with it.
Well, did you get Did you get a publishing deal from like TuneCore or CD Baby?
DistroKid. That was the site I went through. If you're familiar with that.
DistroKid. Okay.
Yeah, it's chill. I mean, like you upload your songs, and pretty much they take care of like you get the rights, the publishing, and all that stuff, and you get all the royalties from it. If
it's the same thing as like Ditto.
If it got any.
Okay. Yeah.
And then I think there only cuts like a monthly or a yearly fee, and also like it's dirt cheap. It's like
$20.
Yeah, and you can decide. You can decide.
Oh, you
'cause,
pick
like,
all the platforms you want to put it out on, and like when and how much and.
That was something I didn't when I was thinking about getting music on like Spotify and stuff like that. Was that they won't? First of all, I don't think they take that shit unless you have a publishing deal.
Oh, I don't know.
Well, I mean, so
I know they go through like a process. Like
yeah,
like
you can't just I can't just send my fucking SoundCloud track to Pandora and they'll just be like, hey, fuck it.
I think
whatever.
it could. It might just go straight to like spam. Like, you know what I mean? Like this
Yeah,
folder.
exactly.
Yeah, you need like
No one's
Unless-
gonna see it.
Unless
so
somebody's
you can
listening to
send
spam radio, they're not gonna fucking hear it, dude.
You mean
Spam
isn't that
radio.
iHeartRadio?
Dude, iHeartRadio is spam radio. Speaking of iHeartRadio, 93.1 WPOC. You guys from around here?
Yeah.
Kind of.
Where are you guys from?
Catonsville.
Originally,
I guessed because your mom is from Catonsville.
Oh, deduction.
How you know about that?
Dude, I'm sleuthing. Dog, come on,
You're
bro.
recording in her basement.
He's
Yeah, but
looking
what
at
does
your
that
side.
mean?
I don't know.
Oh,
It's
he
just
said it earlier.
context
Oh, okay.
clues from you.
Yeah. He thought you.
Dude, I was like, my
forgot
mom's not
to-
even on social
It's like
media.
he's
Like,
getting
where,
very
where have you
defensive
been?
right now, dude.
Don't talk about his mom like that.
Sorry, dude. Didn't mean it like that. Your dad lives. I don't fucking.
I know not to cover.
Shit. What the fuck was I saying? So, what the fuck was I saying? Yeah, Catonsville. Is
Oh,
the
he's
town.
from Catonsville. Yes.
Are all you? Did you guys all go to Catonsville High School?
I didn't. I grew up in Carroll County, so like way like
What high school did you go to out there?
Century. It's like
Okay.
Eldersburg. I lived
No, I know.
kinda
Yeah, my
near-
girlfriend went to Liberty.
Oh, cool. So if you go up 26, well, west on 26,
Uh-huh.
go past Century and then go past South Carroll, that's like right where I grew up.
They shut down North Carroll, right?
Probably.
They did. But
Did they build like a mega high
no,
school?
they
out
built
there?
a new. They built. It's like Winters Mill or Patterson Mill or something like.
Winters
weird.
Mill was it's in Westminster. Yeah.
Yeah.
That actually fun fact. Winters Mill was modeled. There was the same exact blueprint as the high school I graduated from. So they were like the second. They kind of copied, I guess. It's like if you go to my school and then or my high school and then you take a picture of it and you go to Winters Mill, it's the exact same structure.
Oh, shit.
Not even like a bush out of place.
You can actually tell when people are like from outside of Baltimore County, because I don't know why, but for some reason, like I've noticed people from like Carroll County and like Cecil and Hartford, they all use road numbers instead of road names.
Yes.
You're right.
It's a
yeah.
big thing out
26,
there. You say
32.
26, I say Liberty Road.
97. Yeah.
You know, like that. You know, if I was in the county, I'd call York Road 45, but that'd be fucking stupid as shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even know any of the numbers.
Yeah, dude, that's because you're from the
I
county.
know like
bro.
695. I know 95.
Yeah, highways.
I'm with you, man.
Yeah,
But
dude.
see, like where I grew up was a lot of back roads,
Lots of
and small
numbers.
roads and sticks. No, and then you get the one giant 2-lane, 4-lane
Yeah.
road, and it would be the
Sam
highway.
Cooke
so
Lane.
26.
Sam Cooke. I thought you were talking about Sam Hunt, who is pretty fucking dope, dude. He's like the Drake of country. You guys know what I'm talking about?
The
I've
what?
heard of him.
The
Sam
Drake of
Hunt's-
country.
The Drake of country. Sam Hunt.
What does that mean?
He like sings and kind of does
he
like
Canadian?
rap, kind of.
He's not Canadian.
I feel
He
like-
can't be Canadian.
I feel
in
like
a
country like
singer.
that kind of is
Oh, dude,
transitioning
Calgary.
into like hip hop though, or like the radio hip hop. You know,
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
it's all
pretty-
just like pop at this
pop.
point too.
They're a perfect
yeah.
example. Yeah, or perfect.
It's even
description.
rap. Like rap's getting like because
Mumble
like
rap?
yeah, it's like well that's kind of like the offspring of like what hardcore rap used to be. I guess I
Mhm.
don't really know.
Like off the.
But then it's
mainstream.
like they're trying to go mainstream by like making it like almost like oh, what is he saying? Is that bad? It's all just like code words or like
Yeah.
nicknames for shit now. So it's
They
like
can avoid getting
Don't even-
bleeped on the radio
don't
because
even
nobody
make
knows what the fuck
sense.
you're saying anyway.
yeah.
He's like petting my fish, petting my fish. You're like, what does that mean? He's like, man, it's 'cause it means he's selling coke, man. Don't you hear it? Petting my fish.
Wait, okay. So
I'm
I just
gonna
want
record
to
that, by the way.
clarify this, and I'm this is probably redundant as fuck at this point, but this EP is coming out tomorrow, right? So we actually did a good job planning this for today.
Yeah,
this
actually.
kind of
Pretty good
makes
timing,
sense.
man.
This makes very good sense.
Our non-existent PR manager's done a great job.
When this
Hello.
comes out,
Actually, yeah,
their
he
album
did a
will
great
be
job.
Huh?
Oh,
when this comes out, their album will be out.
That's
So
true.
Go buy that shit
When would this air?
When are you putting out your album?
tomorrow.
What time?
Like the afternoon,
Hopefully in the morning. I don't know.
morning.
I would hope in the morning. I'd hope first thing.
What time do you guys
I
like
think it's-
wake up usually?
Well, I think it's like an automated thing. I mean, the SoundCloud Bandcamp will be whenever he gets up and gets to it, but
Yeah.
all the other like iTunes, Apple, Google,
It'll be up.
Spotify stuff should be an automated process. So it should
Okay.
be up. I assume it should be up in
At
like
midnight.
Dope.
I don't know. Don't quote me
Yeah,
on
I
that,
mean,
though.
yeah.
You can check Spotify at midnight.
Because we
I
still gotta
will.
get your studio performance too,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which is gonna be
Saturday.
fucking sick. Saturday. And so
We're all gonna fit in there, by the way.
we're gonna figure it out.
Yeah.
Have you?
It'll be a
What's the-
little
I move around
toasty
a
in
little
there.
bit.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to like not move as much.
So
I might go
basically, we're
shirtless.
not gonna shut the doors, and really, it's mainly that we get the drums in there,
Mhm.
and then, I'll have people move around. I might even have the lead vocal, lead guitar, chill out in this area. I'm gonna clear out this area, and we'll film it all around. But
Cool.
this is all technical shit that I'm sure everybody's just stoked to listen to right now.
Well, I guess for the listeners, the room in question is like what, like 8 feet wide by like 10 feet long at the most.
It's bigger than that.
No. The sound. It's not about how big it is, by the way.
Hey,
It's about how
average
you-
Don't let 'em
studio
fool you,
size.
okay?
It's how
is
you
6
pad the
by
walls.
10.
6 by 10. So smaller.
We're bugging out.
Yeah, that
We
thing
want-
did not
we
like
want.
that interaction. I'll tell you that. Hold on
Ooh.
1 second.
Ooh,
Check.
there it is.
That's great. This whole past 2 minutes has been fucking gold.
It's the energy.
Fantastic.
The energy in the room is causing technical malfunctions.
So you guys don't have a publishing manager. You don't have a manager. Do you have an agent?
Nope.
Okay.
You
So
trying to
how
get
did you
an
guys run into the Tones?
Jamie's our agent.
Yeah, I guess I am. Jake hit us up like last October,
What a go-getter.
and yeah, he's definitely a go-getter. And he was like, "Hey, we're playing tomorrow, and we need an opener. Do you want to play?"
What a go-getter.
And I was like, "No, man, we can't," because
cold
we
one, get
definitely
cold
couldn't at that time.
Uh-huh.
We were like just. I think we were in the studio that weekend too, so we were just totally off, like hadn't been practicing. So we just like went and met him at that show, and then have been sort of playing like tag, setting up another show. There was supposed to be
Facebook
one
tag.
like March, and then I don't know, the
Yeah,
one in
he-
June
he-
came together.
He
so.
always emails me whenever he's coming down to Baltimore, and I feel like, there was a couple times when he was telling me that they were lining up a show with you. Because that's how honestly, it's kind of weird to think about, but that,
That's how shows are set up, man. Like,
Well, also-
out of town band contacts you, and then
Yeah.
you like promote the fuck out of it. You and the other local band.
That's been our
if there
experience,
is
at
one.
least.
It's weird because that's the only reason I would have ever come. I mean, not that I would have never come across you guys, but it's just like weird because we were doing the show, and Jake at the time, the Tones publicist, hit us up, and he
Yeah,
was
out
like,
of the
"Hey,
blue.
yeah, they're coming to Baltimore. You have a show." And I was like, "Yeah, these are all true things, I guess." And so we had him on. We did a live studio session, and we checked him out. And I think they were playing at Joe Square at that time too.
Yeah.
And then in the future, we had talked back and forth, and he had mentioned, being in contact with you guys, and then you guys just recently played a show. But it's just kind of weird that like we're literally around the Beltway from each other, but we were brought together by like this band from fucking New York,
York.
right?
Yeah.
It's kind of strange when you think about it,
That's true.
how shit works like that.
Small world, though, kind of.
It is cool. I mean, dude, that show there was sick. I think the only I mean, you guys could definitely graduate. I will say this. I wish that the entire night was not like the first 2 acts were daylight, which I was trying to talk to Eric
Oh, you're
about
saying
it.
it's too late.
It started.
I
at
No,
agree.
no, 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 no.
9, didn't
I'm
it, or
saying
10?
it wasn't late enough.
Uh.
Well, for a 4-band show, you had to start at that time.
Yeah.
But for like later shows, I would think like something about when it gets dark out, people become more in the mode of like, I don't know, just
We've
being
already had a
receptive.
couple drinks
Yeah, I
in them.
agree.
Yeah.
They're more
That's
to-
why we asked
down
John
to
to,
like
keep
fucking
the
dance.
lights off or
Yeah.
like low
Yeah.
for our set. 'Cause
Dude,
it was like the end of the night.
I was watching. Okay, so I texted Jake about this. I was watching the Tones perform. I'm watching the Tones for. They're dynamic as fuck,
Dude, their
I
bass
mean-
players. My
Yeah,
mind
dude,
is
I
it's
love
so
bass
funny,
players. I love
dude.
that guy.
It's insane. I mean,
He's got so much
electric,
energy.
literally electric. Like that's the best word I can come up with.
When we saw them, the time that they wanted us to play, but I think they hit us up like 2 days prior, and like drummer
day
was
before,
somewhere.
yeah.
So it was some last minute shit. But when we went and saw them instead, some song they were just in this like break, like they playing and jamming, and they're really like going, and then they hit this like breakdown real quick where the Jake, this is the singer, right? He just starts like he leans down, he starts playing. Bass player picks up his bass, puts it down, runs upstairs to the upstairs area. I don't know, nobody knows where he went. I assume this is the way I like to
Classic.
think of it. I'm gonna put you in my head real quick. I like to think that he ran upstairs and he ran into the bar and he's like, quick, shot, and he's ordered a shot of whatever his thing is, and he just threw it back,
And then didn't pay
then-
for it. And ran back downstairs.
Actually, I kind of like that. I figured he would just like threw a 5 down and then ran, or a 10 or something with a tip. You know,
They were
but-
$4 each, buddy.
Well, he just threw one shot. He's like, give me a shot of whatever he likes, and he took it, and then he threw down a 10, and he bolted back, and then he was.
Jump back in.
Oh, you
and,
know
and
what?
then back to reality, he runs downstairs, runs back, grabs his bass, and he fucking hits like a solo or something. He just
Dude.
jams. It was
Well, the
cool
last
shit.
show, he just
Intense.
like put his bass down and then walked over to the table and collapsed on it for like 4 minutes, and then just got back up.
That was probably
doing,
the
like,
cue for
fucking
the
hand
shot,
puppet
and he's
shit.
like,
Yeah.
Yeah, behind the booth. I remember that.
Dude, literally, when I watched that, I just remember thinking, when I was watching you guys perform and watching the Faux First perform, which performed in the dark,
with that cool light underneath.
dude, people wouldn't, I was telling this to Eric, I was like, people wouldn't have even known what to fucking think watching that shit with spotlights and a light show or something like that.
Yeah.
I mean,
Nice
it would have
sound
been
system.
unreal. And the fact that like when you're playing in a setting like that, like 7 p.m. during the summer, it's like it's like playing a fucking banquet or something like that. Like how fucking hype can you get in a fully lit room? It's just like, damn, dude, that was my only regret. But you guys had the perfect set, man. It fucking sounded great, and you guys had a solid crowd come out.
Appreciate that,
I
thanks.
saw some girls
Dude, I think
dancing
that was
around.
I think that was
like,
the
hell
best
yeah.
crowd we've like had that we
Yeah.
personally brought.
And
Like
Joe Square's
everybody
good
we
for that.
counted on to come came.
Came through hard.
It was
yeah.
awesome.
Especially-
Which is rare.
Shout out to all y'all.
Shout out to everybody who was there, dude.
Yeah, we
about
played a show in May. What was it? Like on a Wednesday with Thunder Club. You know that dude John.
Yeah.
Johnny B.
And dude, nobody came. Like I think we had 5 people.
Yeah.
But it's
Where
tough,
was
man.
it? Joe
It was
Square
at
as well?
Metro.
Metro.
And Metro Gallery takes like a lot of money off the door. I think
Yeah.
it's like 280
I don't think
off
we
the
even
door.
made like the threshold for.
Felt bad for the touring band.
Yeah. I don't know. I went to Retro Gallery one time, and they just told me they were closed. So that's really my only experience. Can't really say much about them. Can't really write a really
weren't good,
definite
but
Yelp
they-
review.
We saw
on 'em.
Ron Gallo there earlier this year.
Really?
That
Yeah,
was
he's
shit
so
Was he
awesome.
sick?
Oh my god.
Was the venue being sick about it, or were they being?
Yeah, the sound's amazing.
Okay, dope.
It sounds good. Yeah.
Tell you
It's
which
a
has,
dope
crowd was a
spot,
little
but-
tame though.
tell you what has great sound. Fucking the Auto Bar.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, dude.
Fantastic.
Unless you
sound.
play on the floor,
What you mean, like the bottom floor, or like not on the stage?
Not on the stage.
like
yeah.
not on the stage.
Why would you
I
do
think-
that?
I think-
we did that last time we played there because it was like a Monday set.
I think it was
a
another-
LA crowd.
It's another one of those shows
Uh.
of a weird day of the week, and
Yeah, Monday, dude.
Their sound guy crushes it.
Yeah.
Dude, he's electric.
Dude, actually, the sound guy at Metro Gallery is the dude from Deer Hunter, or not Deer Hunter, Reindeer.
The video game?
No, Reindeer, the
No, the
Baltimore
movie
band.
with,
Yeah,
I knew it
Reindeer.
was, but I always see
that
this.
guy's what other band is he in? 'Cause we've had
the
them
Lush
on the
Pockets.
studio.
He's in the fucking
yeah,
Lush-
he's in the
Oh,
Lush
yeah, he's the
Pockets.
bass
Oh
player, that's
shit,
right.
dude! They're the ones that gave us the cassette of their EP.
not listening.
There's a school though, man. Limited
No, yeah,
edition,
dude,
100.
dude. You listen to the Lush Pockets?
Oh, they're
Yeah.
cool, man.
Really good, dude. It's like a really like 50s kind of like doo-woppy 60s like Frankie
Like
Valley
retro,
and the
like
Four
real
Seasons.
R&B
Yeah.
kind of shit.
It's
not-
crazy.
We played with them
Blue
last
Blue.
summer at the last Hostel show ever, which was
Hostel?
a lie because
Hostel
there's more
International
now.
in Baltimore. By
They're the only hostel in
Archdiocese.
Baltimore. They had these
Yeah.
like underground shows in the basement.
That's lit.
I think do you guys know Archie Jameson? He used to be in a local band around here, but like a while ago. But he's a comic now. He said there's like a hostel opening up again in Baltimore.
What are they for? What do
And he's
hostels
gonna
do?
try to do shows.
It's like
there.
a cheaper hotel for like traveling people, I guess. I don't know.
You ever
Hotels
see
are
that movie
kinda-
Hostel?
Well, like with like
Yeah,
shared,
that's
with,
why-
like shared rooms. And
Why
stuff,
would you
though,
stay in
and
one?
shared like?
'Cause it's like-
It's
bathrooms.
cheap.
Dude, it's like
I
10
would-
It
bucks a night
sounds
if you're-
terrifying.
Nah,
The
it's
word
cool, man.
hostels.
It's a little hostile.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. It literally is hostile. I don't know. It's just like it just throws me a
It
little.
depends
bit.
on where you are. I've been in one in Germany, and there's been like
I think
drunk
they're big in
people
Europe,
fucking
man. It's
like,
like a Euro
shaking
thing.
you at 4 a.m.
European.
And then there's other places like in Central America, wherever, where it's like fucking awesome, and it's $10 a night. Everyone's cool.
Central America, dude. I
Stayed
go to
in
a
one in
Brazilian
Seattle.
hostel, dude. We'd be treated like kings. We'd be treated like kings. Be like, oh, live in the studio, right this way. You said 380 likes? Yeah.
We'll give you a
Your
discount.
stay is
$8
I think they
a
call them
night.
brothels there.
Brought, ooh, dude. Bingo. Nice.
Like
Are
where
they
we're going.
okay? So, this is a question I have. Are brothels legal in America anywhere?
I
No,
think
Well,
Nevada, right?
maybe Nevada.
They gotta be legal in
Because
Nevada.
that's
Yeah.
where like the
The-
Bunny Ranch or
Well, I was
something,
gonna say
right?
that's where that.
Is that a
dude-
brothel?
Yeah,
That almost
yeah.
seems like
Sounds
too
like it.
good to be a brothel.
No, it's a problem.
No, it definitely is.
I think
it's
it's
like Dennis
advertised.
Hopper's Bunny Ranch or something.
Who was Dennis Hopper?
Hugh
I don't
Hefner,
fucking
right?
know.
Wasn't that
Hugh
place
Hefner?
in
It was Dennis
No, it's
Quaid.
not the.
Wasn't that
it's
in
not
Harold and
the-
Kumar?
It was Dennis Quaid's Bunny Ranch.
It might have been.
Maybe the
oh,
second
wait, that
one?
was in the South. That was like a
in Alabama or something.
yeah,
I
and like
guess,
Neil
yeah.
Patrick Harris gets shot.
Yeah, forgot
Yeah.
about that.
Dude, I'd rather stay at a brothel than a hostel.
It'd be a lot more expensive.
And I think it's by the hour as well.
Do they
so.
do rates for like not
For,
doing
like,
anything,
a
not
night
fucking?
Private room.
Like it's gonna be $300 per hour. So it's like, oh, I won't be doing any fucking this evening. Now I just want to sleep.
Oh well, then it's
I just
full.
want a heart-shaped mattress.
In that case, just
It's probably gonna be hard to sleep,
$38,
man.
sir.
take the beach suite. Who fucking knows?
Sounds like a loud place to try to go to sleep.
That's not loud, dude. It's fucking dudes who aren't used to it and girls who are way too used to it. They're both just
Gonna hear crying dudes all night, dude. You're not gonna go to sleep. I think it's ghosts.
Can't believe I.
Ghosts of
Blew it.
thousands of kids in that building, dude.
Didn't that like Lamar Odom? Was that him? Didn't he like almost die?
In a
At the
brothel?
ranch?
He did.
Yeah,
He did
that was
die
the
in a
one.
brothel.
He got
That
like
was the one.
he got like
Yeah.
helicoptered away.
He
like,
got
was
super
all-
coked up
Yeah,
and like
Yeah.
had so much sex that his heart like started
Exploded.
racing.
That's
weird.
solid. I feel
Pray
like
for
Lamar
Lamar.
Odom could do that without paying. Don't you?
Who says he paid?
He was in a brothel. I mean,
He
What?
definitely paid. Yeah, but
Paid for that helicopter.
he can
That's
go
like
there
me
and
going
like
to
live
Burger
out
King
his
and be like,
vices to their fullest extent.
Lamar Odom.
He's probably into
Yeah.
some weird shit, man. He used to date a Kardashian.
that's not even weird shit. Like that's just shit that I feel like any dude would do if they had
A
enough
brothel?
money.
No, I
Not
mean,
any
like,
dude.
I mean, he can pay them to do. His
That's what I'm
weird
saying.
shit,
That's
yeah.
what I'm saying. And his weird shit might just be fucking on coke,
follow you.
which I feel like is fun.
Or
I feel
it
like
could
fucking
be
on
like
coke is great.
having
Best
people
way to-
shit on
to
his
fuck.
chest or something.
Nah, nobody likes that. Who likes that?
No matter how
I've
much.
never met anybody
Maybe
who
Lamar
likes-
Odom does. Who
No,
knows?
fuck
I'll tell you what, Jamie, do a bunch of cocaine and then tell us we'll get you like a prostitute, and then whenever it's cool, like whenever you're feeling it,
Dude, I don't know.
I don't know if I'll ever be feeling
I don't
that.
understand fetishes.
that's our point.
Who the fuck was trying to tell us? I think it was Colin Baker. He was
Yeah.
trying to tell us that like fetishes happen when like kids are just like doing something and like a weird like hormone burst hits them while they're looking at something, and then that becomes like a fetish. And I was
Yeah,
like, first of all, that's
yeah.
bullshit.
It sounded
Second
like
of all,
some weed theories.
yeah, that was definitely a weed
Yeah,
theory.
That's a good point.
Definitely a weed.
I was gonna
theory.
say like I can see there being like a very minute like psychological like idea of like maybe when you're a kid and this like, but I don't think it's concrete evidence, and I think you're right, man. The weed.
I think
theory.
it's less of a chemical thing. It's probably more of a psychological thing.
well, that for sure, but yeah. My point
Yeah.
is that you could be like a quick moment out of nowhere, but
yeah, I'm just not just looking at something. Oh my god, I love couches now.
Yeah, it's not-
actually.
Oh, Red Pepper.
Cupid's arrow hits you like in the back of the head while you're like looking at a backpack. Like, oh, now every time I
Backpack
go to a
porn,
school, I
dude.
get a boner.
This
But,
is
like,
not-
I don't know. It's kind of
It's
normal
not
with
bad.
elementary schools, man, or middle schools.
Dude,
Dude.
try going to an LL Bean store.
oh my god, dude, it's like walking into a brothel.
nice way to
Get
go for
coked
full
up
circle there.
and fucking dive into backpacks. Dude. Fucking Lamar Odom.
Where is
Fucking weirdo. Jesus.
So this show is live from the studio, baby.
What did he just say?
Where is the show going?
I don't know.
Somebody
Yeah,
tag
me
Lamar Odom in this.
Can we
Yeah,
tag Lamar
retweet.
Odom like our conversation this week with them animals and at Lamar Odom?
So I take it you guys are out my age, right? I'm turning 25 next month. You guys are in the same ballpark, I assume.
Yeah,
I'm
20, I'm
20.
26. Going
26.
28.
Okay, cool. You said earlier when we were down at 7-Eleven that you had left for a bit, like Maryland.
Oh yeah,
Where'd you go?
that was before the band.
Oh, I
It
still
was
want
just
to know.
like I was away for college, South Carolina. Then I lived in Denver for a while.
Did you graduate from South Carolina?
I went to Coastal Carolina.
Did you graduate from there?
Yeah. Why?
Just want to know.
Okay.
Just want to know. Just interested.
All right.
I don't know. I thought you know.
I thought you were gonna say, did you know like so and so?
I
That's
was.
usually like where that jumps to.
Well, you said South Carolina, so I was gonna say, did you know Lucas Lees? And then you said Coastal Carolina, and I was like, did you know?
I don't know anybody.
Did you know that I don't know anybody from there?
Lorenzo
I did not know
Talaferro, backup Ravens running back.
Lorenzo Talaferro.
They have a,
Is he a
they have
black guy?
football team?
He
there?
is.
I was about to say, there's no way.
He's
not
Italian, man.
black. I was about to say, like, when's the last time we had an Italian running back? 'Cause that would
Black
be sick.
Italians, man.
That's dope. Wait, I might have known one person from Coastal Carolina. Didn't Sammy go there?
Possibly.
You know Sammy? Did you ever fuck a girl named Sammy?
I don't think so.
All right, then she didn't go to your
He's
school.
fucked a dude named Sam. No.
I shouldn't have said that. I shouldn't have said. I'm leaving out the name on that one.
Whatever, dude. She's not gonna listen.
I don't
Hey,
know,
Sammy.
man. I don't know, man. She might be in Brazil right now.
Her dad is like the fucking like main judge down in the city, though.
Is
so.
he really?
Yeah.
Oh, dude,
I had
I'm
a
definitely getting
forensics
prosecuted
class.
for something, dude.
Our forensics class in
Libel.
high school did like a field trip to the courthouse, and we just spent the rest of the day. It was like an hour long, and then we spent 4 extra hours just in the harbor until the bus came back.
With Mr.
Nah, with Miss Toolin, dude.
Ooh, even better, dude. Miss Tolan was great. Someone was smoking, dude.
It was amazing.
Wait,
Just
how
like
long have you
left
guys
people.
known each other?
Long time.
Yeah,
I think
probably middle school, sixth
middle
grade.
school.
Damn.
We went to Dumbarton. We went to Towson High.
And then we both dropped out of different colleges.
Yeah.
What colleges?
Stevenson for like a semester, and then tried again at UB, and I was like, all right, I'll do this for a little bit, and I was like, nah, it's like, I was like,
Dude,
doing
if it's not for
fine.
you, it's not for you, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I was, I had like a 3-point something or whatever, but it's just,
Yeah.
time sink.
I just
Were you-
I did a year at Towson U.
Not for you.
which was- Towson U was kind of. I mean, I didn't really. I don't know. I didn't really like fit into like the whole. It was like too. It seemed mindless to me. College when I was there, it was just like maybe it was just the place I went, because I don't know. But it was just like I didn't like feel like I related to any of like it was almost like once I graduated high school, I expected like life to be different, and maybe this is biased just because I didn't go away for college like you did. Or where'd you go?
I went to the pyramid scheme that is known as the Art Institutes.
So you probably.
It was in York, PA, though. Like,
Oh, you
so
should
there
know.
was nothing there.
I almost went to York College.
Harrisburg was
to
the coolest
wrestle,
thing
and
around
that was
us.
stupid.
To York College?
Yeah.
My buddy went to York College. He really liked it. So he's like a programmer, though.
Well, it's a private school, so it was like way more expensive. And they don't give out any fucking scholarships for wrestling. Nobody gives a shit. Nobody gives a shit. But Towson, I don't know. It's like a lot of New Jersey, a lot of New York kids.
Oh, sounds
And-
like my college.
Yeah, I would imagine. I mean, they're kind of like synonymous with a party school. Like it was
Yeah.
like
A little broy.
But very broy, but and also just very like Jersey Shore. And then you got to put yourself in the times. You guys are around the same age. This is around 2010, 2011. That's when the Jersey Shore was popping. So this
Yeah.
is probably even more Jersey Shore than
Double
it should have been.
collars, probably.
Dude, that shit was crazy. Everybody was all into the Jersey Shore back then. It was weird, like Snooki,
Yeah.
like Mike. What the situation? Hell
And then
yeah.
what
Oh
happened
my
to those
God.
people that were on that show? They
Uh,
just like go around to different like strip clubs and bars and get.
I
Like,
guess, but think
fees?
about it. They can probably still pull, like, dude.
Oh, no, they're not.
Club
They can still
tours?
pull money.
They're not broke.
They're not
I don't know.
broke.
I think
Pauly
Snooki
D
wrote a
still
book.
DJs.
Isn't he
right?
like
He's
DJing
DJ.
in Vegas or some
Yeah,
shit?
probably.
I think
Freaking
the
sad.
situation was on like a cooking show recently.
Yeah,
It was
he
like worst cooks. It's like celebrity edition or
Worst
some
cooks.
shit. Yeah.
Worst cooks.
He's like, I get paid and I learn how to cook.
He's like,
So
I'm trying to
we're
boil
very
this
much-
water. I don't get it. He's like, dude, you got to turn the thing
All I
on,
know how to
man.
do is
They're like, every meal
Gravy.
doesn't have to be pasta, Mike.
It was just
That was pizza.
it was just weird because I don't know, dude. When you go there, like I said, I expected shit to be different, and I was living at home, walking to college, and it was just like, I don't know. I would go to frat parties, and it was dope because, like, dude, Towson girls are really fucking
party.
hot. Like,
Yeah,
it's like
dude.
weird
Okay.
how hot they are. Like, I didn't realize how hot Towson girls were until I went to LA that summer with my friend Scott, who owns this place that we built a studio together.
Shout
Went out
Scott.
to LA and just fucking walked around for a week. And dude, you're thinking California. You're like, California girls, wish they all like every
Wait, which
fucking
one?
song.
Beach Boys or the
Dude,
Eddie Van Halen
every
one?
song, every band. You guys have a song about California girls? Maybe. I don't
Not
know.
yet.
Not yet.
Gotta go to
Not yet.
California.
You gotta go to Dude, I'm walking down the
Colorado.
street. I maybe did a solid. I was there for a week. Maybe did 5 double takes. And I'm an easy double taker. Like, I'll double take anything. I fucking always, I get the front and the back, dude. I got to give you a solid distance. Like, okay, whatever. And I always kind of hope that they're not as hot as I think they're about to be because then it just makes me mad. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I
like
know
when you
what you're
turn
talking
around and it's like a girl that's like really hot and you're just like, I just feel like shit. Now I'm not, this wasn't. I almost turn around and I'm like, I hope her ass is flat, dude. I hope her ass is flat, so I don't have to feel any way about this. But I don't know.
No, I'm following it.
Dude, I know about that constant double take life, man.
Yeah, dude. It's
Dude,
kinda
in my
hard not
car
to.
driving to work, even it's just like about to get in accidents and shit.
One time he came to practice with a neck brace on, and I was like, what happened? And he's like, double take.
Dude, but it's just they're not out, dude. I'm telling you, like, walk up the strip. Do you guys go out at all in Towson?
Not really.
Not often.
Go walk around, go up to Green Turtle, go to CVP on a Friday, Saturday night. It's literally just it's almost unbelievable. It's literally.
We should go to
it's-
Towson.
I
You
live
should.
in Canton right now, so that's kind of a similar.
Canton's pretty cool.
Kind of a similar.
Yeah.
vibe,
Canton's
I
pretty
feel
cool.
Like. There's a lot of attractive ladies.
I'm in
Canton.
Charles Village. I'll just
A lot of
Charles-
armpit-
hey.
I'll leave that
Yeah,
there.
a lot
Charles
of
Village.
armpit hair up there.
Okay. So you actually live pretty. I was still imagining, I guess, because your mom lives in Catonsville and Orion Studios is around that way.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like in Western Baltimore. I assumed that you were still in the Catonsville area, but you actually live in Canton.
No, I live in
more,
Canton.
Oh, you. I was about to say
Charles
Charles
Village.
Okay.
Yeah, our
cool.
drummer lives out that way, like in Arbutus. So
On our base is he lives in a little shack behind your work, right? No, he lives.
Technically,
His
yes.
house is actually. He lives in Hamden, but his house is behind his work. It's funny.
Yeah, dude.
That's
yeah,
pretty
dude.
sick.
We're
Go
all
home
sort
for
of
lunch.
close.
Yeah.
So were you? Were either of you guys playing? Well, you obviously, Jay, because you went to the Art Institute, right? So I'm assuming you went there for music.
No, I wish.
What'd you
Nah.
go there for?
Animation, which was not a very lucrative plan.
Hey, you know about those fucking Joshua light shows?
There
That's
you
cool.
go. Well,
I don't even think that
that's
counts
true.
as animation.
No, it's not.
Was it 2D
school
or
animation.
3D?
Well, I wanted to do 2D. I was huge into 2D. Been a big fan. I still like it, but I wanted that, and they were like super weird and pushy on the 3D, and like it was kind of I'm gonna trash on them real quick. They had like people that weren't qualified to teach people to do stuff, so I had a teacher who was just like going step by step out of like
A
books.
textbook, yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, this
Which
sucks.
just how many
What-
years did you go there?
Oh, I only got my associates, so I got out of there quick. So I got 2 years.
Did it pay off at all?
Well, I mean, if you consider my current job helped me. I heard it helps me get it by have had experience in like Adobe.
What do you
So,
do?
Work in a print shop. So
Nice.
like we do. Shout out to Dirk Cardigan. We do plastic cards, like if you need like gift cards or key tags or
Oh, cool.
you know like
Sick.
CVS.
shout
You
out
guys don't
Chuck.
do-
We know you're listening.
Oh yeah, shout out to Chuck.
Number
my
one
boss.
fan.
Do you work there
His
too, or you
boss.
work?
No, he doesn't work.
No, I don't work there.
The
Where you
drummer
work?
works with me though.
This microbiology company. I
Damn.
just do their marketing.
Oh, you do their marketing.
He
Yeah, I
doesn't-
lead with that, and then I go, yeah, I do the marketing.
Usually when he
Look,
tells me
look,
that, he
look,
doesn't say the
Jesus,
bottom.
The
line.
glasses are making sense now. It's crazy. Super smart. I don't know.
He's got an amoeba on his shirt.
That's just a stain.
So, did you go to college for marketing?
Yeah.
So, neither one of you guys did music, and were you
In
either one of you
college?
guys
No.
pursuing music at all during the college
I
times?
I played drums since I started playing drums was first, and I played that since I was in like 8th grade, maybe. You know, so I played music throughout my like youth. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm still young, but
Why how'd you
I
guys
just-
link up?
Craigslist, man.
Beauty of Craigslist, man.
Yeah.
Who was looking for who?
Well, I posted
You had
the
the
ad
ad?
up. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I had moved to the city, and I was like trying to find some shit. Like I was playing with a few friends, and that fizzled out a couple times. So I was like, "Fuck it, I'll just put an ad up on Craigslist." So I did, and met a few dudes. And actually, here's a good story. So we met up with. I got an email back from Jamie, and we decided to meet up one day. And we met up at Idle Hour. Familiar? It's in Fed Hill. It's a cool ass bar.
Yeah.
I think I've heard of it. Yeah.
Turntable. They're a big chartreuse bar, which I'm not a big fan of chartreuse, but cool bar.
Chartreuse is that? I'm thinking of
it's like
charcuterie,
licorice kinda
cheese and
No,
Sound
yeah,
smelling.
It's like licoricey green. But anyway, so we met up there and like had a few beers. We're talking, and we were like, all right, we should jam, man. We should do something. And it was like, all right, well, I was like, I can't do anything between like tomorrow and next Thursday or something. And he's like, why? Are you going to Firefly, the festival in Delaware? And I was like, actually, like, yeah. And he's like, shit, man, I'm going to that as well. He's like,
dope.
He's like, how you getting there? And I was like, oh, I'm driving. He's like, oh, I was like, how you getting there? And he's like, I could use a ride. I was like,
Good
man,
way to start
I was
a
like,
band.
I was
Yeah.
like, we're gonna be in a
Yeah,
band,
dude.
man. Just fucking put your stuff in. Let's go. Let's go.
That
And,
okay? So
it
this
worked
story,
out well, yeah.
this story is you. So you guys, the first time you ever met was to fucking start driving to Firefly together.
Well, to start a band, and then
Well, we met at the bar to say like, hey,
Oh,
you
so
seem
this
like you're not a
conversation-
serial killer.
Okay.
Like,
Yeah,
let's
yeah, that
play
was our
music
first
in the
interaction
future.
from that ad posting. So we
Okay,
we
I imagine this
discussed
was all
text
via
messages
email.
Back, yeah. So I emailed he responded to the post, and we exchanged numbers and started talking about shit, and deemed that we both weren't crazy enough to not try to meet.
Yeah.
And then we met up at a bar, so that way if anybody were to try to kill each other, we could just bottle them in the neck. It's a foolproof plan. It's never failed me. And then through conversation about what kind of music we wanted to play and what we wanted to do and what we used to do and all that stuff, like we were like, oh, we could actually potentially
Did
play
you guys
together.
kind of have similar tastes? Because I do get like
Oh, for
kind of
sure,
I
yeah.
do
We vibe.
get a very Black Keys vibe from listening to you guys. I can see that influence. Was that Like,
yeah, we
what kind
connected
of?
over them. I mean,
Okay.
he's more of a Black Keys guy.
Yeah,
I'm a White Stripes guy.
This is a debasing topic in our band. So he's a Stones and Stripes guy. I'm the Beatles and the Black Keys. It's just
I like that, dude.
I don't
That
know.
sounds nice.
I don't know if I like it.
That kind of sounds nice.
He can't see
I
the
don't know.
light, man.
It's like you're Pokemon Blue and he's Pokemon Red. You
Dude,
gotta
blue's my
get,
favorite
you know,
color.
you gotta trade to get the
Actually,
different
I had
ones.
Pokemon Blue, so
But blue's my favorite color.
You got blue? Wait, what did you play?
I played all of them.
I had the
Wasn't
yellow
there.
one, I think too.
I played red first. That was my
Red,
first
really?
Red first too, yeah.
I was blue.
Red too.
I don't know how I feel about that.
I don't know, dude. I don't know the difference. I don't know.
I don't think
There
there's a
was no
difference.
difference. It was
Yeah.
what your favorite color was and which outside you liked better.
Oh,
Charizard or
yeah, I had
Blastoise.
Charizard on that front side, dude. And that was sick. I didn't know. I thought maybe you like won him at the end of the game. I don't know how shit works, dude.
Never beat Pokemon?
You got him in the beginning
No,
of the game.
I
I
didn't
feel
beat
like that was
Pokemon.
like the first game every kid beat.
Oh yeah, you get the little one. What is it? Charmander.
Charmander.
Charmander, yeah.
Well, does in the Pokemon game is Pikachu even with you?
A start.
In the yellow
I mean, you
one,
can
he
catch
follows
him,
you
but yeah,
around.
yellow is like it.
They pull him
Pokemon
up.
Yellow is like the anime, so like you start off with like
Dude,
a
yellow's the
Pikachu
one we
and
all
shit.
should have got.
Came out later, dude.
Yeah, we had. If you were on the ground floor.
I think I did get it
Oh
too.
man, if
I
I
did.
could go back,
got
dude.
yellow.
If I could go back, I would get yellow. Fuck.
I was in there. But
can
I
get
don't know,
now,
man.
dude.
Fuck Pikachu.
Dude, I mean, fuck
It's not
Pikachu.
even that good.
Fuck Pikachu, but at the same time, like everybody knows the show was dope, and so,
True.
dude,
I had
playing-
Pokemon Yellow, and to beat the first gym because it was Rock type, you can't beat it with Pikachu. I had to grind a Mankey till like level 30
How the hell did
and
you get a
like
Mankey that
one
early?
patch of grass before the gym for like
Mankeys, dude.
hours, dude. It was crazy.
You know how I liked Hitmonlee, dude. The
Dude,
fucking
the kick one.
chicken nugget looking dude with the two arms. That guy was sick. Always
Yes.
kicking things. That guy was dope. Hitmonchamp, he was the guy. He was a boxer guy.
Yeah,
Remember
yeah.
Hitmonchamp? Not as good as him.
I didn't
anyway.
really like him as much.
Not Hitmonlee, like
I didn't like
fucking
how they
just
didn't.
karate guy.
I didn't like how they didn't evolve. I feel like they should.
in the new, in like the later ones, they like had like baby versions and shit.
They
Dude, that's when I
devolved?
gave up.
no,
like,
it's
yeah,
like
they
when they
can-
they
Right
had,
when
like,
you get
eggs.
the 150.
Yeah, I didn't
like
like
the
when you had
day
to
you get the
breed them.
150, they're like, oh, by the way, we like created 150 more, and I was like,
Well, I was
fuck
cool
you
with
guys,
that. I
I'm
was like,
done.
cool new ones, but then you had to like put two of them in a pen and they would breed. It was creepy.
It's just
Yeah,
get-
or you
yeah.
could just get
Yeah, that is
Ditto,
kinda
the
fucking
fleshlight of
weird.
the Pokemon.
That is weird. I didn't even like having to get stones.
The fleshlight of the Pokemon. Can that be the name of this episode? Ditto.
Dude, it's gonna get all the wrong hits. You're gonna be big in Brazil
Dude,
and on
aim this
RedTube.
for Japan,
Hey.
dude.
I feel like they kind of go hand in hand, dude. I'm sure Brazil gets typed in a lot
Dude,
on
we gotta
RedTube.
put up our podcast. We should just upload all of our podcasts on porn sites.
We could,
You
dude.
probably get a ton of
Totally
hits.
We probably would get a ton of hits.
It would, dude.
Now that I'm really starting to think about it.
Just get like
Anytime
a
we talk
Pam
about
Anderson
porn-
cutout for the wall.
And you know
So
what?
there's at least
You know what?
something.
I'm always trying to think of like, I always wanted to find a way. You study marketing. How do you tap into somebody that's just like you? What would I be looking for? And I'm thinking now that we're talking, I'm like, what do I definitely do more consistently than most things? And it's
Beat off.
speed off. Speed off. So I feel like
You missed your chat roulette time, man. I can't imagine too many people are still on that.
dude, we met a girl.
Now it's all dicks.
Remember that Turkish girl we met on
That's what I
chat
meant.
roulette?
Yeah.
She still
Dude, she's
Snapchats
on my
me.
Snapchat,
What?
yeah.
Still Snapchats.
What is she
You guys didn't
Snapchatting
get a
you?
dick on
Dude,
that?
She's
She
not
was like-
Snapchatting me. I think she's like an actual
Dude,
like
she was like
quality-
in Qatar the other day. It was crazy
Yeah,
because
dude,
like
she's
they had the
like cool as shit.
Snapchat map shit. So I was just like,
Yeah.
what the fuck is she doing?
That's
there?
creepy as shit too. Back to the creep stuff. We're
Yeah.
I hear
poking
Turkish women just
people
want
and
to trap you.
Snapchat.
Dude, I'm Greek, so I got a natural affliction with Turkish women, dude. I don't
Mhm.
fuck with the Turks.
My mom's side of the family's Greek.
Really?
Yeah,
That means
I look nothing like
part
that
of you
side
is
my
Greek.
family. Yes,
Okay.
my mom's mom like came from. Well, she was a baby when they came from Greece,
Mm.
and then they were in Florida, and then they moved up.
The Greece
All the
of
Greeks went to
America,
Florida.
dude.
Tarpon Springs.
All the Greek dude, Tarpon
Yep,
Springs. Tarpon Springs. My grandfather, my great
Sponge diver
grandfather.
was he?
Get the fuck out of here.
telling you,
Get the fuck out of here, yo.
Yo, we can research our shit too, man.
No, I'm saying this is.
Yo.
It's not research. It's life, man.
Shit,
I grew up. My
Greeks-
grandma had
Greeks
little
knew Greeks.
sponges all over the wall.
Yo, that was crazy.
New name for the
Oh, I
podcast:
got
Greeks on
some.
Greeks.
Hold on 1 second. My fucking headset system could
Yeah,
not
mine
handle
too.
that.
Notice when
Check,
we
check.
vibed.
There we go.
Notice when we vibed, it started again.
It's electric again.
Tarpon Springs.
There we
All
go.
right, it's over it now.
Checks and balances. Checks
Dude,
and
that
balances.
was-
1, 2.
That must have been a fucking. I guess I never knew
weird.
about it. Okay, so my great grandfather's name was Nick Markakis, like the baseball player.
Yeah.
Oh.
Markakis, yeah. And that's why in high school I was going around and be like, Nick Markakis is my third cousin. Like, blah, 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 blah. People like, yo, he's not your third cousin. Be like, yeah, he is, dude. Yeah, he is. My grandfather was a sponge diver. Yeah, he is.
Dude, it's funny because
I like your high school impression of yourself.
It sounded exactly like that.
That's good.
Bar none.
my mom's side of the family is like the Greek side. Stamos was the last name. So
No fucking
I'd
way.
always thought
Johnny,
Stamos,
Rebecca Romaine by law.
Dude, my great grandfather died of the bends.
but not by blood. Oh yeah,
the
don't
bends.
believe that. That
the
shit sucks.
bends, dude. That
What's
sucks.
the Benz?
It's when you pressure, you come up
Yeah.
too quick.
So like when they were building like the London Bridge and shit, when they were putting those big things down underwater and those guys were going down there. This is like when it first like came to like public, whatever.
Yeah, and for the Brooklyn Bridge too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They'd have these guys like way far underground and like the pressure differential. If you come up too quick, then your like body just starts to like
Vessels or,
yeah,
your
it's
blood cells. Or
yeah, your
oxygen.
body can't adapt to the new pressure quick enough, and it's like a permanent. You would think it's something that like is like getting hung over, like oh fuck, I really came up too quick on that one, but like it's a permanent thing.
Baby's got the bends.
Dude,
Kills
one-
you.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, he died.
Kills you, yeah. He died as fuck, dude. He would have been dead by now anyway, so I don't. It's
what a way
definitely
to
not.
go.
I mean, dude. Apparently, he was. My grandfather was telling me he was like in an argument with the guy who was pulling his rope right before he went down, and I was like, you know what?
He's like,
That seems like a bad decision. Yeah, apparently the guy like pulled him up too quick. They like got in an argument or something like that. But
Damn.
like,
told me to
why
slow
would you
down.
get in an argument with somebody?
It's like yelling at the guys
Yeah,
that
your
serve
life,
food for
yeah.
you. you
Dude,
know?
he's
That's-
Greek, man. He gets worked up.
Dude, yeah, it's
True,
hard. It's hard.
true.
I can only imagine what the fuck they were talking about. It was probably something really fucking.
It was
dumb.
probably all in Greek too.
It was definitely all in Greek.
He was like,
dude.
"What do you mean I can't retire at 40?"
You're telling me sponge diving isn't lucrative?
Dude, apparently, yeah. I don't know, dude. That's a
when they
big.
wore those mega suits that were like the shoulder pads with the
Dude,
the
yeah, like
port
the
valve on the
Scooby Doo villain outfit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
yeah.
Dude, he was a Greek. The original Scooby Doo villain was a Greek. Take his fucking mask off.
They pulled his mask. It was like Steve
You a man?
Giannakoulias.
All right.
You've come a long way.
Okay.
So that the
So-
EP comes out tomorrow.
All right. So at this point along the story, we are at you guys hit each other up on Craigslist. You met. You went to Firefly together. Chilled out there. How'd you meet the rest of the band?
Originally, my friend Blaine, who used to be the bass player, went to college with me, and we would jam in college. And he moved up to Maryland after college. I went to Colorado. Ended up coming back, and we just started kind of jamming again
Oh, so you went out to Colorado not for college, just for
for work after college. for
what were
like
you
a
doing?
year.
Building rock walls?
No,
Ah, fuck.
I was doing sales. It sucked. It was
thought
like
it
a
was gonna be-
soul-sucking job that made me make a significant life change. I could give you the prequel to me and Chris meeting.
Yeah, do that because
It involves me in Costa Rica doing ayahuasca.
There you go.
When I met him at the bar, he was fresh off this ayahuasca.
I was fresh
Man,
off the ayahuasca. Like I just got back the day before.
He's like-
ayahuasca is that like tribal drug that they
that root.
that like root yeah
it's
it's
like
like a
DMT.
tea or something like that they
Yeah.
drink.
Yeah.
I didn't
How did
take
you
it.
get a hold of that? Where'd you were in Costa Rica? How'd
I
you
had
do
a
that?
friend who was down there, like working on a farm, like wolfing.
Is that
which
what
just
that's
like-
called?
Yeah, it's just like volunteering on a farm, and they give you a place to stay.
Free
and, like,
ayahuasca.
some shit.
Sounds like a good deal.
So he found the ayahuasca
Bad
place
food,
through I
ayahuasca.
don't even know how. It was like off the road in between like two cities in Costa Rica in the fucking jungle. Like you had to walk like 2 miles back to it off the road. They had like a kind of fucked up road going back there.
I would imagine so. I
And
mean, they
it-
had
it was
all
this-
those dinosaurs back there in the 90s. You got to imagine.
All those
But
trees
the
knocked
dude
over
was like
from the
actually
bulldozers.
Israeli, and he was like in the Israeli military. And as soon as he got done his mandatory thing, he was like, "Fuck this shit," and he went
As
to
does
Brazil.
every other Israeli
Yeah,
soldier.
every other Israeli soldier, and he fucking went to Brazil and like joined this fucking tribe of local Brazil, I don't know,
Brazilians?
ayahuasca fucking drinkers.
Ayahuasca dudes.
Brazilians.
And then he went to Peru for a while, and then he went to Costa Rica and started his own thing. And it was like a weird kind of like commune. It was like him,
a
his
franchise.
ex-wife, their 3 kids.
Were they ex?
His new wife, her like
They were Mormons.
2 kids, and
That's
she
a
was
very-
also pregnant.
That's a very ayahuasca relationship.
Yeah,
right there.
and then something else, and people would come and pay like $20, and they would feed you throughout the day and give you a
Wow.
place to sleep.
It's a fantastic deal.
Yeah,
$20
All
for
inclusive?
food
Per
and
night.
ayahuasca
Per night. And sleep.
That's wild.
better
The
than a
food was
hostel.
like crushed berries.
Yeah.
Better than sand.
and no, the food was like all grown on site because of the like ground's super lush, so they just like throw fucking seeds.
So-
out and it
so,
grows.
okay.
Jeez.
So I've never done acid. I've never done shrooms. I think the hardest drug I ever did was coke,
Okay.
which is not even the same. It's not even the same.
Not
I
even
league.
think, I
close
think you and I
to
can
that.
switch
So-
positions. I've never done coke, but
I
the other-
dude, coke.
Yeah, I'm
if
in
you ever
the same
if you ever
spot.
done Adderall, you've done
Coke,
coke.
I like Coke better.
Yeah, well, coke's obviously better.
I might have ADD.
Well, it's just like it
Coke's
doesn't
adult,
last as
really.
long. I used to take Adderall and like write a lot and like write a lot of our old songs,
Mhm.
and it was just like an all day fucking thing, like a 12-hour event.
It's meant for a child.
we
I
had
guess.
on
crazy.
our first
Which is
demo, we had a
ridiculous.
20-minute song called Adderall. It's just 2 notes back and forth.
Actually, it was only 2 minutes.
Good point.
Well, that's
But
still
we
a
played
note
it
per
10
minute. I
times.
mean, that's impressive. So okay. So what? So you're at this ayahuasca thing, and what? Is it like a DMT type high, or what?
Yeah, it is DMT.
Is that what it is?
So it's an ayahuasca root and then another vine that's like an MAOI inhibitor, so that like you can actually digest it and it'll go to, I don't know, your liver or whatever makes it hit your system.
Liver.
Liver.
wow.
Filters your
And
blood.
You do it, you take it, and then you take it again, maybe like 4 hours into it. And there's like a whole weird like ceremony they did, and like you'd have like an intention word and all this other weird shit.
I want to take my stance back. It might be the kidneys. That filters your blood.
I think I could get past the ceremony thing. I think I could do fine without that. But
That's the part that freaked me out. Like right before I was about to take it, I was about to be like, I don't want to do this because it was like a little
Yeah.
bit too like.
Because even like
Yeah,
going
is this
into
gonna
like
kill
a
me?
mushroom trip, like you're susceptible to like some like weird noises and shit. You're like,
Yeah.
that's like freaky, dude. Like,
But also like it's in the middle of nowhere.
like
Like
a setting thing.
this guy's out there with his family. Like what if they like bring people out and fucking poison them and then they die and then they like I don't know do something with them.
that would be weird.
or,
That's
yeah.
what I was thinking before I took it.
That would be
Like a
weird.
Game of
Yeah,
Thrones.
he
kind
gets
Because I was like,
another
there's really no way
ex-wife gets
out.
a new
Like,
one.
it's at the bottom of this super steep hill, like where you take it. It's definitely like there's some different like.
So, what did you have, like a
circumstantial
fucking like vision quest type thing, or what happened when you took it?
shit. You just kind of like, I mean, you can walk around and shit like close to where the situation is, but you don't want to go like
Yeah,
explore in the jungle.
Mm.
yeah, that'd be weird.
Just
A lot of the time, some
Animals
people
and
sleep
stuff.
during it. There was this Russian guy who I think used to be like in, I don't know, the Russian military or something. He was sleeping during it, and he was having like a tough time. Obviously, having like a lot of weird like dreams and
Mm-hmm.
I don't know
I
visions.
feel like
and
that's a
shit.
waste to sleep during it.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Well,
I can
there's
imagine
people
you
there who
could
had like
sleep, though.
therapeutic shit they needed to get through. There was another guy who was there from like Holland, I think, and he just had this really bad energy about him. I don't know how to like describe it.
I know what you mean.
He looked super exhausted and like he was fucking like full of terror. I don't know if he had like some shit going on when he was a kid or what. And he took like he was like really anxious about it and took like 3 or 4, I think 4 like glasses of it. And in the middle of the night, he woke up like screaming at the top of his lungs for like a period of time for like 10 minutes.
Nothing more terrifying.
Yikes.
than
And
being
they
in
had
the
to come
jungle
over and
hearing
like
it.
help him out.
Man
Mine
screaming.
was cool though. Mine was nice.
How long does it last?
It's like throughout the night. So
Ooh.
you do it around like 9:30 and then you do it again around 12:31. And then the sun comes up early there at like 4:45, 5 a.m. But mine was kind of more just like I felt like I was getting pulled into a direction and I felt a lot of like my intention word was clarity. So I just like I
What
just
is an
broken up
intention
with
word?
that they make you have like a word that like
It's like a safe word, maybe. No, I mean that was like
Just
like
like what you're
snap you out of
pursuing.
shit.
it's more like, yeah, what are you pursuing? Like, why are you here? 'Cause a lot of
Oh.
people are trying to work on shit that are like a little bit deeper.
Yeah.
And so I was working that shit job in sales. I just like broken up with my girlfriend at the time and like kind of moved my shit back to my parents' house and then gone down there for a while. And I just wanted like clarity what to do next. I knew I wanted to do music. I was doing some like open mic shit and writing a little bit, but I'd never really like, I don't know, pursued it in a serious way before.
So you decided to start doing music pretty much as a result of this ayahuasca trip?
I think it like put me to the next level. Like if I didn't do that, I wouldn't have come back and like immediately got on
Commitment-wise.
Craigslist and looked for somebody to start a band with.
What like okay, so I don't know. I mean, I would imagine that like DMT type stuff, they always say it's much like a dream where you don't necessarily remember all the events of the experience, but you remember how it made you feel.
Yeah.
Like I wake up a lot of times and I couldn't tell you exactly why I feel certain ways about stuff, but like certain stuff will hit me throughout the day and I'll be like, I don't know. But so do you remember and do you recall anything from the actual like doing that, or did you just kind of just come out of that with just a new state of mind? Or do you remember the journey to getting there at all?
Yeah, I think I remember one thing in particular I really remember is I kept questioning, like, am I like a writer? Am I like a musician? Like I keep questioning, like, I'm not a real writer. I'm not a real musician because I haven't really done it out before. I've just sort of like done it for myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, like during the trip, I guess I started just laughing at myself because I was like, you just wrote something today. You wrote a song last week. Like that's the definition of being a writer and a musician, writing
Yeah.
something or like writing a piece of music. So I was already doing it. It was sort of like a weird
It's like
realization that you already started it. So like, what are you looking for? What kind of clarity are you looking for?
you look at yourself objectively for the first time.
Yeah.
It's like you start to say, I question that stuff all the time. I always question, like, am I a musician? Am I a musician? But
You're looking for
like
some sort of validation almost. But
you
like,
almost want it because you want to
step
feel
back
like
and
you're meant to be doing what you're doing.
the process is more.
But
Yeah.
like if I were like, I'll just catch myself sometimes. Like if I'll just be like standing around somewhere, and a riff will come into my head, and I'll just pull out my phone and start like humming into my phone, right? Something like that. And if you look at that objectively, it's like, well, yeah, obviously you're a fucking musician.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, like
Yeah.
think about it.
Or if
Like
Because you put ideas to paper.
yeah,
and
because
then to
that's
noise.
all it is. It's the passion for doing it. It's not. I couldn't even explain to you why. You know, and there are people that have that passion with other things, but it's like, I don't know.
I would say if you look through like your Instagram, you probably follow a bunch of music shit like
I
companies.
see.
and-
I'm not
Well,
super.
We'll just say theoretically though, and then like you
Yeah,
look at
yeah,
somebody
for
else's, they have a bunch of food shit. You know what I mean? Like for example, like my Instagram is annoying. I just scroll through it and it's like guitars and pedals and drums and skateboarding too. But like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It's just that kind of stuff. And it's if you look at like I don't know, like dude down the street, it might be like bass and deer. And, You know what I mean? So it kind of
Yeah.
no matter how you feel internally, like when you're like you said, you're gonna grab your phone and
Yeah.
sing out a riff.
It is nice. It is nice. That I guess that's kind of the whole thing where they talk like that out of body experience. It all kind of comes down to like, I mean, all that like the Buddhism and all that stuff like that. It's all about even Christianity and stuff like that. It's all about kind of acknowledging this kind of like thing outside of yourself, thing outside of your ego, stepping outside of yourself and viewing yourself as another just being. You know what I'm saying? And we never do that. We never. I don't know.
I think people get caught up a lot. In
It's hard
the
to.
day-to-day shit, yeah.
You know, one of my favorite sayings is
as well. So,
we judge others by their actions and we judge ourselves by our intentions.
it's very true, man.
Because it's we only see of everyone else what they project outward, you know? But we know ourselves, I guess, best.
It's like me driving. I'm always like, you're an asshole. And I'm like guilty of doing the exact same thing.
Because
An hour
you've never
later.
seen yourself. Actually, when we were walking up from 7-Eleven, this thought just kind of popped into my mind, and I was like, I wonder what this looks like from your eyes. It was a real thought I had.
Yeah.
Sounds kind of weird.
No.
But I just
A little
imagine.
weird.
Yeah, a little weird.
It's cool though.
But it's just like I just imagine like I don't know, just looking at stuff from another angle, and then you kind of when you have that experience, like you had down in Costa Rica, it's like you kind of realize who you are because it's the first time you ever really met yourself.
Yeah. Or you come back to things. I mean, like I did music when I was younger. Like had classical guitar lessons, which I hated for 2 years, and then just fucking quit. Started just learning like riffs and playing songs I liked for a while. Kind of like fell away from it in college. Fell away from skateboarding a little bit in college too, which I like to do.
Yeah.
And then you
If
come
you were
back to it
born-
and you're
yeah.
like, why aren't you doing the shit that you say you like to do? Like if you like to do it, just fucking do it.
You guys hang out at the Hamden skate park at all?
I've been there a couple times.
Yeah, I've been there a couple times.
It's hard to get there when it's not packed. When
It's fucking
Yeah.
hot.
Yeah.
You bake on that thing.
My buddy, he like goes around with a company out of Vermont, and they actually built that, like the phase 2 of that for like.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Artisan skate parks or something.
Nice.
But I think that was like last fall, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
He's somewhere now.
Thank God they
Phoenix or
finally did
something.
phase 2, man. It
Dude,
sucked
yeah.
before. I mean, it was fun and like
It was just
cool to go
all
up there,
ground
but-
shit.
there was this place called
Just the
Shrimp Town
ground was just
out in like
gravel,
Sykesville. That was a DIY park built on a
Carroll County.
foundation. And it was awesome as a DIY place. And then the state came in and turned it into like a proper fucking skate plaza.
I think actually
That's-
that part's in Howard
that's
County.
awesome.
But fucking
The
it's like
state. Oh yeah, the lame
Dude,
parts
the
in Howard
state-
County, dude. It's
Well,
like-
no, I'm
There was
saying-
some shit going down with that, man. Like the mayor of Sykesville had to like resign because
the
he was
mayor
going,
of Sykesville almost sounds like a made up position.
dude. He was apparently.
It sounds
Alright.
like Mayor McCheese.
I don't know
When
his
I was
name,
mayor, it
so
was
there's
like-
no libel here. Apparently, he was going up to kids and being like, if you don't want this park destroyed, you got to like get your parents to donate like $500 to me,
What?
like in the form of a check,
Dude,
That's ridiculous.
insane.
so that we can like have the funding to make a new skate park.
Dude,
And
with 500
they would do
bucks,
it.
You could build your own fucking half pipe.
But
in
they
your
already
own
had the
backyard.
money. Like the state already had the money for the park, so he was just
Oh,
going up
man.
like hustling people, acting like
Oh,
they
he
didn't
was
have
a
the money for it.
he was
like-
a
he was like right
corrupt
He
politician.
was
Yeah.
like right out to Carroll
Oh.
Area Skate Park Hangout, but just acronize it, like CASE.
CAS.
I don't know if there's any truth to that, but I was told that by a pretty reliable source.
The mayor of Sykesville. I doubt it.
Mayor-
Dude. I
Mayor
doubt it.
Yeah,
dude.
we were partying the other night, man.
Nice try, mayor of Sykesville.
Dude, they got us tapped.
You gotta fucking sitting over there in Sykesville right now, just like
He's like those
they're talking
bastards.
gotta have that park too. I don't fucking know, dude.
Like a 1940s Rockefeller now.
Dude, I don't fucking know what that
Nah,
even was
that's
supposed
fire.
to be. It could have. I don't. I couldn't even tell you what I was trying to do. Couldn't even tell. Okay. So
Big ass bug.
So
I
back to
find
Pokemon.
this. Okay, so I find this. The reason why I find this interesting is I'm always trying to, I guess, figure out like, because we're kind of the same place in life, I would say, like, to be doing the band thing when you're, like when I was like 19, 20 or something like that. It's a whole different thing because you have people around you who actually, they have kind of time on their hands, they might still be in school, they might be still kind of funded by their parents and shit like that. And so it's very like, I guess you're more likely to find people that are like, oh yeah, I'll play some fucking gigs, whatever, dude.
Yeah.
But then you get to this age and it's like, the only people you're really going to find are people that are really about it,
Yeah.
And it's tough to find people that are really about it.
I think you can find a lot of people that aren't about it, and that's another problem with that is that you'll be like, oh, we need a bass player, and then you'll go through 30 people that want to do it, but then they give you the runaround when you try to meet up and play. So
Yeah. When our old bass player left for the first time, he moved to like Georgia.
He was a
We
guitar
like
player.
actually didn't play for
Like a year.
A year, yeah.
Yeah.
We did a couple open mics. Like we tried to bring a bass player in. That
Terrible.
he flaked. We tried to bring a drummer in one time. I kind of flaked, and then I was away for a while, and then we just
It's
sort of got it
ayahuasca
back
came
together.
back.
No, this was
Shouldn't
after
have
the
flaked,
This is
dude.
way after the ayahuasca.
you went to like Moab or something, right? You went some weird.
Yeah.
You went across
I did
the-
like
Mother
a-
of all
like a-
brothels. Week-long stay.
What the fuck?
Comes full circle.
That was
No man,
really
it's in
impressive.
Utah. You can't even
Thank
walk
you.
into the liquor store
Name of
twice
the
in one day
episode.
out there.
Yeah.
Mormons.
But yeah, like,
Oh.
like
Now that's the highlight,
Fucking-
dude. That's the
fucking
champagne of
elementary
beer.
school science
Couldn't
project right
handle
here.
Look at that.
Wow. I think my corny ass actually might have done that for a science project when I was in elementary school.
A
so your
volcano.
dog's
Volcano?
alive.
It's weird because when you're a kid, you get these ideas, but you don't even realize that they're not your ideas.
Yeah,
You're
no,
like-
I definitely did one too, but I was just like, it's like lame, like it's easy to do it, but also I've never done it, and it looks cool, and
Yeah,
I
it
want
looks
to do
fun.
it. I've never been able to do it because everyone says it's lame.
I don't want my kid to be asking me about it and me being like, I don't know. I was
don't
too
know.
original. I was too
Google it. I
original.
don't
I just got to do any of this stuff, dude. My kid's not going to like me.
It's
I don't know.
baking soda and vinegar, man. Pour that shit together. Or just take one of my beers and
Or like the celery shit, where you put like dye in water and you put celery in it, and then it grows like leaves
colors.
that color. Yeah.
I remember when I was in 3rd grade, my teacher did that with a rose. It was crazy. She also had chickens in our class. It was cool. She brought an incubator in. She had lived on a
Carroll
farm.
County.
Yeah,
Carroll
true.
County, man.
Shout out to Piney Ridge Elementary. But no, she brought chickens and then we hatched chickens. But she had the story was the rose.
That'd
Sorry.
be dope. I've never hatched chicken before, but I have eaten a lot of chickens
I have as
and
well.
eggs too.
Oh, it's kind of both.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, both sides of the coin. You just ate the whole coin.
What came first?
Are you guys? Would you say that this is like priority number 1 or like plan B for you?
I would say number 1.
Number 1?
Yeah.
I mean,
I have a job, but like I don't really
Yeah.
give a shit about my job.
Yeah. Who does?
like bills got to be paid, so that's priority 1. But like as far as like
creatively or like
Well, yeah, like
energy.
am I gonna like not go to practice because I have work in the morning, or am I not gonna do a show because like we have to work? The next like no, man, that's. just get
What
up
do
the
you
next
feel
day and
like
be
you're
tired,
meant to be? Like, do you feel like you're meant to be a guy who has a side job that also enjoys playing music? Do you feel like you're meant to do this? I know it's a weird question
I
because
mean, I feel like at this stage,
not
you
everybody
kind of
feels like.
have to have a side job. If you're
Well, you.
gonna do
I
it.
mean, dude,
Yeah.
dude, I was working as a
Yeah.
fucking server for like forever. You have to have a side job.
No,
you
the
can't
goal
make
is,
money
the
off
goal
that
is
shit.
the goal is to do this for a job.
yeah,
That would
like
be
if we
sick.
could like make money doing this and just
That's the end.
sell our music and fucking go on tour, that'd be awesome.
Would you? I mean, I guess, and this is another weird,
I mean,
weird
any
thing to
hobby
ask.
you can live off of is kind of.
Oh, for sure,
the
dude.
end
It's the way to
game.
live life.
Yeah.
It's. I mean,
It's
that's
kind of
gotta
tough
be the
to
way
do.
to live
It's
life.
tough to do in music now. It really is. You got to do short tours, self-plan some tours, like little. I don't know.
You know,
We're probably gonna do something this fall where we
It
do
could
like
be
3
tough
weekends.
to do. It could be tough to do, but it could be tougher than it used to. But it could also be easier than it used to, depending on how you go about it.
That's true.
I mean, like when you think about it,
There's way more markets now. Yeah.
and you guys probably understand this more than a lot of people we have on the podcast. A lot of people we have on the podcast are like maybe like we'll get a lot of the like younger guys like 22, 21. It's weird that like even that little gap, they're still like that much more out of touch with like what life was like pre-internet and shit like that. Like,
Oh,
they almost
yeah.
don't realize that there was a world
Yeah,
before it,
that's-
Like they got like 10,000 followers, but like
Yeah, what were you
can't
born?
fill a club.
91,
90.
89,
Yeah.
90 and 89. Yeah, I was born in 92. So like when my first memories were like Windows 95, but I remember like internet wasn't a fucking thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Dial-up
Oregon
internet.
Trail.
Yeah,
ever
nobody
play
knew how
that
to use a
shit?
computer. Nobody knew that. But
Remember
dude,
when you couldn't get on the internet if you wanted to make a phone call?
Oh,
Yeah.
I remember those
DSL,
days.
dude.
picking up the phone.
Oh,
just- remember that shit, dude.
Exactly.
Vividly. But yeah, people don't. I mean, I feel like if you think about it, if you guys were coming up 20 years ago, you'd probably have to get a record deal, right?
Oh, for sure.
If you'd have
Yeah.
to get one.
To make it, yeah.
Yeah. And so with that comes all the extra baggage and constraints on the way they want to market you and the way that they want to package you and sell you and what sound they think works for you. And there's certain
And the
record
debt.
Yeah, and the debt. and the
how they
debt.
get
They're
you.
going to put you in some high class recording studios and you can be paying that shit off with your record
Premium
sales.
cotton,
If you're-
pre-shrunk T-shirts.
Yeah. Yeah.
opposed
Which is now
Actually,
you
I'd spend the money on the shirts.
Yeah, I would
Fuck
do it.
Gildan.
Yeah.
Hey, here's another shout out. Gildan sucks.
I agree.
Gildan. Gildan. Damn, dude. But
Sorry to cut you off.
no, it's all good. Dude. It's all good. I was just thinking about Gildan too. It wasn't even you. It was really I was already thinking about
You
it.
thought about
and
it
I
earlier
just
today.
fucking distracted
Just
me.
brought you back.
Totally. But now you guys are in a position where you can do what you're doing, like recording in a fucking basement and then recording your drums at Orion and perfecting your sound. And you have a marketing position. That's your specialty. And I mean, I just feel like you guys are in a position where now would be like, you say it could be tougher now, but just imagine the differences
I agree.
what your
Totally
band would be
agree.
like if you guys were coming out 20 years ago. Like this is
That's
golden.
true.
This is golden for you guys.
Dude, social media helps.
Dude, it's the
Amazing.
best.
Yeah.
Social media is the best. I fucking love
But
it.
it's hard to find like really, really targeted
Well,
sort of followers
Look, you
like
s-
that are gonna show up. Like a lot of people we know show up. We've had a few people like find us on Instagram and come to shows,
Like
which is definitely cool. But
there's a weird dichotomy, like a paradoxical kind of thing about this day and age, which is before it was limited content and limited access to being part of that content. And so once you were heard, you stood out almost automatically because there wasn't that much competition. But now it's surplus content and surplus access to content, which means that anybody can be heard, but it's that much harder to get noticed.
yeah,
You know, like
gotta
20
say
years
that.
ago, you could have sucked and you would have just been popular because they would have been playing you on the radio alongside like 15 other bands,
That
and
still
like you would have just
happens
been one of
today,
the
yeah.
15. And now you're just like one of the fucking billion
True.
on the planet. And but that gives you an opportunity that if you really believe in your sound, then you can perfect that and stand out. Because eventually that would.
Yeah, if you got something that people like, they're gonna come to it and they're gonna find it, and there's no better time than now to go out there and to search for your specific super niche kind of thing that you like. And if we check enough boxes throughout, you know, everybody's, then shit, man, that's better than it used to be. You know.
Yeah.
For sure.
although
Way
radio
fucking
does
better.
help, we're definitely gonna try to get this on WTMD. Shout out Sam Sessa
What's
Oh,
up, bud?
dude.
What's up, boy?
Sam Sessa.
How many shout outs have we done? Probably
We've
too
done a
many.
lot of shout outs. Like, anybody who's
Positive,
listening to this episode.
negative. we
Also,
don't-
the Manimals. If you're listening to this, fuck you.
fuck you, man. You're going down.
That's
You're
right,
going
guys.
down.
I did think that was your band name when I first looked at it.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, they've been stealing our hashtag for years. I'm just gonna leave.
Is
it
that
there.
another band? There's a band called The Manimals?
Mammoth.
Yeah.
Get the
Yeah.
fuck out of
There
here.
is.
They're from New York.
They might have been around longer than us, but we didn't know that before we started.
You guys should do a show with them.
Do you think Jake was
That would
actually
be a
trying to hit up
mouthful.
those guys at first?
That would be awesome.
He's like, oh yeah, we're actually coming to Baltimore. I forgot. shit. Call
Dude, we had this other podcast called Live from the Shop, and their Instagram name was LFTS Podcast, which is what we wanted. And so we
But we had everything
had
except Instagram.
everything. We had
And
Twitter,
call
SoundCloud, everything was LFTS Podcast. And then Eric was like, "Yeah, dude, I reserved Instagram." That was a terrible impression of Eric. but
I
it's-
didn't actually say that. I
He
was
said
like,
this
I pretty
exact-
much
I wasn't
reserved
looking at you
everything.
guys, but I thought he said that from the
Dude,
head
yeah,
up.
you thought that was there. He said this was, and I quote, a direct quote. I'm gonna even give it a quotation. This is a quotation from Eric Glazer. He said, I pretty much sat on our username for all the major social media sites, which I had assumed.
Twitter. I got it.
Would
Oh, what
include
year was
MySpace.
this? What year was
MySpace.
this?
This was not even last year, maybe.
Okay, so Instagram was major.
Instagram was major.
No.
That's
I mean,
what I
it's
was
hard.
thinking.
It's
He's
hard
like,
to
I
get
got
that on
LinkedIn,
Instagram.
I got
We're them
LinkedIn.
animals music on a lot of shit.
Dude, that's
Because
what I
the
was thinking.
Manimals.
I went to Instagram and I was like,
You want to put band?
we didn't
you
get the
know?
Instagram name? Fuck. Well, I mean, granted, Eric was the one who thought of it doing any of that in the first place at all. Like, if it wasn't for Eric, we wouldn't have had LFTS
Thank you.
podcast on
Twitter and
most of our shit. but
seem
so in
like-
Dude,
reality,
you guys have a solid little SoundCloud following, man.
yeah,
it's good, man.
thank you. We do a lot of poking.
Dude,
keeping people-
poking.
Poking. I'm all about
Try
poking.
it, man. It's good.
But yeah,
Good
dude,
shit.
we actually went up. So we had the live from
Well,
the
so
shop podcast.
I did some research and like I was gonna I looked it up on Instagram like a couple weeks prior, and I was like, oh, it's not taken. Like I'm gonna take my time to do it. And then like Jimmy went to do it, and he was like, it's taken. And I'm like, oh, well then maybe I did make it. And we looked it up, and it was like they just made it like a week before we tried to make it. But it was a podcast live from the shop
podcast
out of Baltimore.
was in Baltimore. It was a
So-
Baltimore podcast, and I accidentally changed their fucking password because I was like, I was
gonna
trying
say,
to.
Did you guess their password?
Dude, I tried to log
Wait,
into
did you
it.
get the handle? Is that where this is going?
This is where this is going.
Oh,
so
yes.
Glad I didn't split it.
so we had I was trying to log into the username page because I thought it was ours. And so eventually I got to so many mismatches. They were like, would you like to change your password? And I was like, first of all, that's almost ridiculous. That Instagram let me change somebody else's password.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
That's
like
a beautiful thing.
Did they not
actually.
have like a?
it's crazy. So I was like, yeah, sure, fuck it. And they were like, yeah, send an email. And it like obviously wasn't my email or anything. Anyway, so I was like, all right, I'm gonna hit these guys up. I couldn't, dude. It was mind boggling to think that there was not only a podcast that went by LFTS podcast live from the, which is a common thing, but the fact that they were literally around the fucking Beltway.
What
Like,
did
they're from
theirs
the Woodlawn
stand for?
area.
Was it
Live from the
Live from the
shop.
shop. It
Oh,
was
the
a
shop.
barbershop
Right.
podcast.
Shit,
Wow.
forgot.
And I hit him up and I was like, yo, blah, 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 blah. Like, really nice email
We
or
have
whatever.
the majority of the handles, man.
Yeah,
Give
I'll
us- give us
see your ass.
Instagram.
No, I was like, just to maintain brand like
That's what I'm saying, You
exclusivity.
guys have the majority of the handles. Like it was. the
Yeah,
Instagram
yeah,
one.
and it made sense because they were live from the shop on everything except Instagram.
Instagram, yeah.
Instagram was the only one they were LFTS podcast, and I was like, in my email, I was like, yo, I haven't checked for you guys. Live from the shop is available, and I was like, and by the way, it might be a good idea to like. For you guys to have a consistent username, and for us to have a consistent username, which benefits both of us, in
Yeah.
reality. And I couldn't believe it, but he was like, "Yeah, dog, for sure." And so, and he immediately messaged me back and goes like, "I changed it." And then like a week later, I was like, "Yeah, that was really fucking dope of those guys."
Yeah.
And then we hit him up and we had him on the show.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
It was a good cast.
And it was a great
It
podcast.
was a good podcast.
Episode 42, dude. It was fucking sick.
And
dude.
I think our influence on them was they stepped up their like recording.
Mhm.
Because
Yeah.
they went from just having like a cell phone recording in the barbershop, and now they have like mics. And it
Yeah, they
sounds
came in here
dope.
like, "Yo, you guys got
Oh, it's
mics
like
and
live
shit?"
from the barbershop.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they,
that's
used
awesome.
they do it in a barbershop, but it's really. I listened. I even messaged a guy the other week. I was like, "Yo, this shit." Like, I listened to their most recent episode. It was Sit Down Heathcliff. They talked about all kinds of shit, and they have like a full audio system. I think they're broadcasting live on 1500radio.net. Dude, great podcast. The guy shouts out
Shout
to Roscoe English.
Yeah.
English. Oh, I believe Ryan something, but Roscoe English. he's a great fucking host, dude. Like it's like listening to like Arsenio Hall or something. And I say that only because Arsenio Hall is also black,
host.
and so it's kind of like not a valid comparison at all. But in reality, it's just like he's good at leading a conversation. You know, it's weird. And just like taking it to the next. I'm just listening. I'm like, wow. You know. And so they're only on their
He's entertaining,
42nd
right?
episode or 60 something episode or something like that. It's impressive, dude. Shouts out to them.
Shut up.
Cheers.
a
They don't
shout.
drink high. No, they do. They drink a lot of High Lives, dude. Yeah. Drink a lot of High
That was a
Lives.
fun podcast.
They like the
It's
champagne.
fantastic.
Yeah.
What does that mean? Nothing's real but everything.
Hold up.
You're good, dude. You're good, dude. That just caught me. I just wanted to know.
Well, let me tell you what I was thinking when I wrote that.
I would like to know.
All right, so that song is about a guy that gets caught in his dreams. So the moving pictures are his dreams, and basically he's like in a depressive state and would rather live in his dream world than be in the real world. So nothing's real but everything, because he's so confused, because he's been in this dream state between sleep and awake.
Have you ever seen
so
the movie
long
Waking
that-
Life?
Yes.
I don't think I have.
movie.
Is that
Watch
kind of
it.
what it is?
Well, the movie is about this dude kind of it's like half animated, half not. It's like, have you ever seen the movie Sin City?
Oh,
Yeah.
well, I was gonna say
Retroscoped or something like
Scanner
that.
Darkly. Rotoscope is what it's
Rotoscope.
called.
Roto-
You're talking doing
rotoscope.
animation, man. That's animation. That's what I. That
Yeah,
was-
okay. So you
Yeah,
okay,
no, I
so
love
yeah,
that. I
you're
love
the
that
person
movie,
that
man.
I'm just
Well,
making
it's-
up words
It's
over
funny
here.
because no, you're right though. Rotoscoping is
Tight.
when you just trace over frames and you just paint over them all, frame by frame. You take a live action footage and you paint over.
That's
frame by
dope.
Frame. But it's funny, Waking Life and not The Scanner Darkly, because that's that big one that had Woody Harrelson and Keanu Reeves and that.
Angelina Jolie, right?
No,
Or
not Angelina Jolie. That was the Beowulf. That was like a 3D rotoscoped. Weird. That was like a merger of 3D animation and motion capture. Or whatever. But no, I can't remember. Regardless, either way. But that was the one that was big. That came out like in 2000.
Standard Darkly. Was that by the same guy?
Scanner Darkly.
Scanner Darkly.
Yeah, it was
that
the
wasn't
same-
Richard Linklater, was it?
It was the same production.
Okay.
Animation
Okay.
team that did the same. But The Waking Life, yeah, exactly. It's kind of a similar thing, man. He was like constantly talking to. He was in the dream world and all that kind of stuff.
That's literally what the movie. It's just. I'm surprised you haven't seen. It's just
It's really weird.
It's the thing that's weird about Richard Linklater's films is he kind of like they're kind of like just like a series of philosophical conversations.
That's all that movie.
If you
was
watch,
conversation,
and if you watch
conversation.
Slacker, it's the same thing. It's pretty much the same thing. Now it's dated. It's like It's made in 1990. So like a lot of the top. It's
great
weird.
year.
It's weird. Like what was considered woke back then is now like standard knowledge now.
It's because
It's almost-
they was woke back then. That's
it was
why.
woke then. You know, somebody
they
yeah.
got woke and told everybody else.
I think that kind of thing was why I was freaking out yesterday, dude. No, I'm not freaking out. I keep on using the word freaking out, but I feel like when I say the word freaking out, you guys are imagining me just like
Having a meltdown.
tweaking out.
When he described it earlier, it sounded like you were like the calm, cool, collected outside, but maybe you had an internal like dialogue that was or monologue.
Who's that?
You.
Me.
Me?
He described it
I was saying
from
that
his perspective.
it was just a nice little, dinner on the avenue.
He didn't mention you were like eating.
Well, it was kind
the
of like
chair.
it wasn't like I was scared, but it
Yeah.
was like I kept on having this thought. What did I say to you? I said it's weird, man. It's like I almost feel like we're in a fantasy neighborhood. Remember when I said
Hamden?
that to you?
Yeah,
Hamden.
yeah.
I could see that.
I was looking around and I was like, and then
What's that
of course,
movie, the
Truman
probably a
Show.
book.
Yeah, Truman
I was thinking
Show.
Stepford Wives.
Oh, okay.
that too. It's weird because when you're high, you're just thinking all kinds of different shit.
Yeah.
But I just remember looking around and like, I don't know. That was a weird fucking night, dude.
He saw like a homeless dude who was like whacked out.
But the thing is, it's like I think what I kept on getting
That'll
caught
ruin
up in,
everybody's day.
what I was getting caught up in was, so
His
like
drumming, the homeless dude's drumming.
we only have like 5 senses through which we perceive the world around us, right? So you have your seeing, your sight, your smell, and they're kind of like. The reason I thought about this, I was talking to somebody the other day from work. I went back to the bar where I work, and this girl, I just started noticing she was wearing glasses. All of a sudden, I was like, "Why are you wearing glasses?" And she was like, "Oh, I just started like realizing like my vision was getting worse." Blah blah blah. And I was like, I don't even know if I would pick up on that, because it's like I've only ever seen through my eyes. So like very well, possibly, my vision could be bad, but it's all I've ever known. So
It
I
takes a
assume
long
it's
time to
good.
realize, man.
It's weird. So like I thought about that, and I kind of like canvassed that over all of our senses, and it's like all of our senses. It's just like kind of this like distorted.
It's like how you can't feel that you have a shirt on. Like your body just numbs it out.
Dude,
You
your
know, "Oh, I'm not wearing
body,
a shirt."
like
You
everything,
can't see your nose,
everything.
kinda
I
thing.
was looking around, and I was like, this is all just my brain doing its best job to convey to me what is around me.
Yeah.
And who
It's
knows
wild,
how
man.
good of a job that is. You know, it's like I was looking around and I was like
Imagine-
seeing all these colors and stuff, and I was like, who, just like in a dream state.
Are you sure you haven't done acid before?
No, I haven't.
But
You should
'Cause
try.
this-
it.
that's what
saying,
that's what it
was
sounds like.
It was
But-
golden hour. Like everything had like a nice glow,
Glow.
to it.
Dude,
like
it was
No,
like
I totally understand. I'm not relate, man. It's
Oh, it was like 8:30 or 9 p.m. or something.
it was
7,
early. It
8.
was
It's
earlier.
like
in the day.
7,
It's like
7.
cooling off.
sun's at like a.
But you get like a
Slow
weird
angle.
like tint over everything.
mhm.
It was
I
just
know what
like
you're talking
one of
about.
those moments when you start to, and I said this before when I was talking to Eric, we like a couple podcasts ago, and I was like, you know, when you talk to somebody in a dream and like you speak, like let's say I had a dream where I was talking to you, right? It wouldn't really be you in my head it would be you, but in reality it's just my mind channeling through you, speaking to me.
Yeah.
And our mind is capable of creating this illusion in our subconscious that everything is separate and outside of ourselves. And we're this vessel, and we look out and we see,
But
oh,
it's
that
your-
building's
but it's
up.
you and
but,
you
but
and you
yes, and in
and
our
you.
wake, when we're asleep, and that's why I found the movie Waking Life so interesting, is because when you're asleep, your mind literally, like you wake up and you go, oh yeah, my mind was fucking with me the whole time. It was all a trick.
Yeah.
Everybody I was talking to that wasn't, but you believed it for dude, 8 hours sleep. That's 1/3 of your life. 1/3. That's why like Archie talks about that shit, dude. It's 1/3 of your fucking life. Your mind is just fucking with you. Who's to say that the other 2/3 aren't fucking with you too?
Yeah, dude, that's weird you say that. I just read something, and it was probably on like Reddit or some weird internet site where it was like buried in some sort of comment chain, but it was something about how like, you know how we can see dimensions, the 3-dimension, you know, plane, up, down, left, right, forward, back, all that. Like and like we couldn't at one point, right? Eyes hadn't evolved.
Yeah.
Right? And this is some weird high shit. So like he was saying, we eventually at one point evolved to grow eyes and we could see shit, right?
Yeah.
Who's to say that we're not going to eventually evolve to grow another organ that can sense another thing that
Dude,
we're not
we
aware
just-
of, you know? Like it's.
You're absolutely right. That's why it was like it's.
Well, I didn't make that up, but I thought
You
that
didn't
was
make it
trippy as
up.
shit.
You didn't
That
make it
was
up, but
cool.
it's like that's the kind of like, I guess
Kinda
what I
what
was
you're
kind of
saying.
having was like this kind of like acceptance of the limitations of
Yeah.
our being, like who we are. You know, that we just exist in this place, and it's like, I remember thinking, I was like, you know, who knows if this is all like a weird like delusion or like I was saying like a fantasy, like if this is all entirely in my fucking
Like
head.
we're asleep right now.
But it's all
we're
we
some other
have.
being.
But it's all we have.
Yeah.
It's all we have. So it's like this kind of like weird like thing where you're trapped in it. You feel trapped because you feel like it's meaningless. But
and
then
it
you
starts
realize,
over every day.
Yeah.
It's almost like nothing's real, but everything.
Yeah.
But
Oh.
what's real is what you make real.
Yeah.
And that's
True.
kind of every time.
Well, yeah, if everything's fake, then like what? Then nothing's fake. You know what I mean?
Dude, it's just what people accept. It's just, dude. It's just, yeah. That's I went up driving up.
No, dude, that was.
Dude,
a cool,
you
that was a cool
remind me of
tangent.
myself after that ayahuasca ceremony.
Dude, I need to do
You
some
should go do it,
ayahuasca.
man. When you were talking about the tint being of everything, I mean, that's how it was. Like,
Dude,
the colors were really pronounced, even though it was nighttime. It was
That's like with
awesome.
mushrooms too, though. I feel like
Yeah.
on mushrooms, like everything is more vivid and like you get like the sense of
Hallucinogens
wonder
in
from
general.
stuff. Like when you're a
wonderment.
kid, like you're like amazed when you see something new, or like
Yeah.
even if it's just like a nice day out, you're just like, this is fucking nice. Like I can't remember like the last time pre mushrooms, like since I was a kid, that I had
that
that,
happened.
sort of feeling.
Where it's
you
like
know
that
what I mean?
fuzzy feeling in your head, and you're
Yeah,
like,
and it's
Yeah.
just
wow,
like,
this is really
it's
fucking cool.
Dude,
Yeah.
I was driving up Falls Road, and it was the first time I really paid attention to like all the little neighborhoods alongside, like Hamden, flowing into the where Western High School is, and then into Mount Washington, and then into Mays Chapel. And I was like, I was observing it, but it was like your mind has like two different settings. Your mind has the reactionary mode, and your mind has the autopilot mode. And you don't realize how much of your life is just lived in autopilot. And as you get older and older, you have experienced more and more things, and so more and more things become just standard.
Yeah.
And so it's very few and far between that you actually notice something that's
You glaze over
yeah,
everything.
it's
But that can be good too, because then like things don't freak you out. Like
no, it's
there's less
evolutionary.
chance of like having shock or something. like that.
Evolutionarily speaking, it is a very good trait to have. But at the same time, it's a biological. I don't know. It's like the whole thing where that's your brain limiting you.
Yeah.
That's literally what we were talking about. Like that, because it's evolutionary beneficial. It's beneficial to have your body just that's how everything
Well, it's like
works.
it's risk averse. And
Yes.
If you're risk averse, you survive longer.
And
like,
it's
in
good for
theory.
things. It's good for learning language. Like right now, I'm not even thinking about what I'm saying right now. It's just second nature. Your body just, it's like a program.
I wonder what you would sound like in Portuguese.
Who knows, dude? You guys want to find out?
Somebody in Brazil,
Translate.
like Google Translate. it.
Who knows, dude? But it's just everything that your body, like when you play guitar. When you play guitar and you start playing the G chord and the C chord, when you
memory.
first start, you're thinking
Middle finger, pointer finger, yeah.
and then all of a sudden it's just part of your body. Your body just encodes it.
Muscle
Yeah.
memory,
But
man.
what you have to realize is, or what I have to realize, I don't know where you guys are at with this, but what
following.
I would have to realize is that it does it with language, it does it with this, but it does it with everyday life too. Until everything in your everyday life just becomes second nature, and then you're just sitting there with no appreciation for what's around you. Dude, it was the first time I was driving up, and I was like, Baltimore's a cool town, and I drove into Towson, and I saw this skyline, and I was observing it as someone who had never seen it before. Just like, for whatever reason, I was high enough that I was just not
Just in the right
in my own ego.
Yeah.
And I was just like looking at it, and I was like, it's a beautiful. It looked like it's so green. It was so green and like these little winding back roads going up there, and I was like, this is like, it was wondrous. It was fucking wondrous, dude. I fucking
Also-
went.
It is nice when you get up that way.
Yeah.
Through Roland Park and everything.
Went up and I sat on the Green Turtle balcony alone, drank an Orange Crush. Don't even know why. Don't even know why I did it.
and just watch the sunset.
Just watched
It's
it.
because
That sounds like an amazing evening.
It was a great evening. That's what I'm trying to tell you, dude.
it's because the world's great, man. It's great to
Yeah.
be alive, and it's fucking cool. Like it's weird that we can even be like these things that. I was trying to get
Again.
deep.
Damn.
No, but it's weird
I'm
that
sorry,
we can
man.
even. It's weird that like we've even like become this thing that can sit here and discuss our own existence with headphones and microphones. That's so weird. There's nothing else that does that.
I know
And-
what you're saying.
And not even
It's
like
cool.
the fact that we have the technology, but the fact that we're discussing like now the existence of ourselves.
We're communicating ideas. I mean, when you first think about like the first necessity for language, it was probably to communicate what objects like
Well,
water,
ideas.
things
Oh,
like that.
oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then
Physical
and then the
things.
idea of abstraction came about. And they did this weird thing. It was like this I forgot, it was like a Flynn effect or something like that. And it was like how IQ progresses over generations. And they say that as generations have gone on, people have become more susceptible to absorbing the concept of abstract ideas. Like this kind of like leaving of like, okay, we're talking about concrete things to the discussion of like, you know, that's something that I
Maybe
wonder.
Maybe this is a dumb analogy, but maybe it's like the same idea as like, so when you have an old person, you give them a smartphone, they're like, whoa, what is? And I don't know what this. How do you touch it? And you give it to a baby. The baby knows that, and it grows up and being like, that's all I've ever known.
It becomes standard because you
Yeah,
haven't
so
because
the
you-
abstract ideas.
your
are
mind
therefore
hasn't been
less
programmed the
abstract.
other way.
Right.
It's just like a fucking program. It's just like people. Every generation gets programmed differently to realize different. It's fucking wild, dude.
It's funny because I've been talking a lot about this, but this is really his like shtick. He's all about that. Didn't you write what was that? Absurdity, kind of absurdism, kind of.
Oh, yeah.
similar. You know, like
On
he's-
our old demo
He's a big
tape.
philosophic type kind of guy.
I love it, man. It's
And now I'm kind of jaded.
Oh,
dude. Why?
Sad.
I don't know. Like if you spend so much time thinking about all this philosophical shit, I feel like you kind of miss out on like what's in front of you sometimes. Or at least
You could
I
be-
did.
Yeah, you could be very right about that.
Um,
Unless your philosophical journey is attempting to lead you, which is almost kind of ironic when you think about it. You know, because I feel like
to
every
live in the moment.
every
Like,
single-
truly live in
yeah,
the moment is
yes.
not constantly
Dude,
questioning
that's why-
existence.
That's why the concept of meditation got me so much, because that was literally training your mind to just exist in the present.
Yeah, I used to do a lot of meditation.
Dude, it is weird to think about because it's the only like it's weird like we've like I don't know. It's I'm so bad at communicating stuff, but it's like there really is when you think about it. there's almost, you could say, you've never been in the past, you've never been in the future. There's no such thing it's always been right now. It's all it's ever been.
Yeah.
The past was just somebody else's now. And all the past is just a memory, which could be very well a delusion.
That's true.
You've
Well, your
never-
mind does dilute things.
Yes,
to make
yes,
them
yes.
seem
It could be
better
a
or
trick.
worse than they were.
It could be a trick.
Yeah.
It could be a trick. The only thing I can say for sure is there is a right now.
Oh yeah. Well, the I think therefore I am kind of concept.
Yes. Rene Descartes, dude. I think therefore I do that. That fucking blew my mind when he was talking about dude.
See, I went the other way with that song "Absurdity." It was like absurdism, which is the Albert Camus sort of philosophy, which is, I think, essentially like it doesn't matter if you're alive or dead. If somebody kills himself, like the world continues to function without them. Nothing changes. Everything remains constant.
You know what has really been in relation to that? I've been thinking about this, and it is, you know, the classic question: if a tree falls in the forest, does it make a sound?
Obviously, it does. I mean,
Yeah.
that's how I've always.
Not if
felt.
no one's there to hear it.
I don't believe that.
Then
And that's-
sound doesn't exist.
So
It's air pressure, man. It's
what I'm
pushing
trying to,
air
what I'm
down.
getting at, okay, so on a surface level, when you examine that question, the obvious answer is, yeah, it makes a sound,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But sound is a man-made construct, and it's the way that
See, I
human
told you
beings
this is this shit.
Register.
like
But that's what I'm
digest
saying.
what that sound wave is or what that pressure wave is.
It's because
So
okay,
therefore, without a human being there, the
Yeah, trees gonna know
sound
a tree
doesn't
fell.
exist.
so
It's about the concept of sound.
scientifically, when you go into like quantum physics, they study the idea of like, which we talk about a decent amount, which is like the photoelectric effect, how an electron doesn't move from a wave to a particle, from a wave to a mass, like a substance of mass, or it's a photon, until it's been observed. And so it is really the consciousness that makes something real. The conscious observation of the photon forces it to become a singularity versus just an energy wave. And so I was thinking about that, and I was thinking, okay, let's say we had this whole universe, right? We had the planets, everything that was as it was, right? But there was no one around, no one conscious to observe it. We were all just rocks. Everything was just rocks.
I mean, it kind of is that way. It seems like
It is.
at least in the
We're all just
Milky
matter,
Way.
atoms.
Yes, we're all just matter, but there is a consciousness observing it. And
Yeah.
you could very well say, and of course you could very well say, because it's very well the truth, we're all just part of that same dust that creates the planets and rocks. But for some reason, the dust that coagulated with us is observing the rest of the dust.
Yeah.
I can't remember the quote, and I'm gonna butcher the fuck out of it. I can't remember who it was, but it was something about how people are the universe observing itself.
Yeah.
Right?
Bill Hicks said that.
Is it Bill Hicks?
Yeah, he said it in
But
one of his acts.
did he make that up though?
I'm sure he didn't make it up.
I would say that. I think it was like a. That was almost like a ham horn.
Yeah, Jimmy's playing with his sample board.
Perfect.
Caller.
Didn't they,
first time caller.
kind of
Dude.
related to that, didn't they just teleport one photon from the Earth to space? And it was like the first time anything's been teleported? I think I just read
News
that
to
like
me.
yesterday.
Dude, I didn't
That'd
hear
be
about that,
sick.
but I would love to hear that. That's crazy.
I don't know if it was NASA. I think it was.
I think if I did hear that, I wouldn't understand the article that it was written in. I'd be like, it'd be telling. me
Yeah,
things that I wouldn't be able to.
North
spewing the
Korean
headline.
space
I
program.
can't like explain the details to you.
Well, we'll give it to Michael O'Ryan. He'll fill this in.
Dude, it's all coming down to the same like when you if you delve deep scientifically, if you delve deep philosophically, if you do a lot of even like, you know, hallucinogens and stuff like that, it kind of all brings you that same realization. It's like you and they call it the secret, which I think is so fucking cheesy that people know about that. But the thing that sucks about it is you really do like, that's why I still baffle myself all the time. I'm thinking about, would there be an existence? Would anything exist if there wasn't something to say it does? It would just be nothing, right? There would be but what is a thing? What is a thing? It's a thing that we think is a thing.
Remember how I told you earlier, like, I got too deep into the philosophical stuff and then, like, evolved past it? That's because that's, like, an endless rabbit hole, man. Like, there's no end answer to that.
I think it's a delusional rabbit hole though, because like just because rocks don't know that they're there doesn't mean the Grand Canyon doesn't exist.
But who's
But if whether we were alive or not, man, that would have been there, right? We weren't
Who
here
knows?
before the planet was here, right? That's
but that's what I'm
Maybe
saying.
the
Okay,
matter
so,
exists,
okay,
but it
okay.
doesn't exist
So
in the
think about this.
same
Think about this. Think about
format, I
this.
guess.
Think about
I
this.
don't know.
We just sat here and we said that we've only ever been in right now, right? So the past and the present and the past and the future and all these other things. The future is an idea. The past is an idea. All that we have right now is the present.
I follow
Yeah.
that.
So
yeah.
if we're admitting that time could be an illusion, then who are we to say that the Earth existed before right now, or
Yeah,
that the right now
true
didn't
that.
exist before? What I'm saying is, all of these things that we're basing our theories of the universe are all based off of assumptions that we've never been proven wrong
that's
because of.
science, yeah. It's assuming something and then trying it over and over again.
Exactly,
Really-
but what if
yeah.
your assumption's wrong?
Well, no, it probably is.
No, that's
no,
what I'm
no,
saying.
I'm saying it's science.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I don't think it's I don't think that the rabbit hole leads to like. I could be wrong. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I will wind up becoming like
Jaded like him.
jaded.
Not
could-
jaded, but
In your own
like,
words.
Jaded, start a
but
band
like,
off Craigslist.
But like comfortable and not knowing.
Do some
is
dude's
like
podcast.
what a better way to put
But
it.
what-
Comfortable and not
Talk about
knowing
Pokemon for a
everything.
while.
But what is the fun in my if I'm thinking about it?
Oh no, it's all.
What is the wonder in life if it's not for seeking out the truth? Like what else would I do all day? What else would you
living
what
in
else
the
are you
moment,
doing?
man.
Living in okay, you're living in the moment.
Writing songs.
But what are you thinking about in the
reading
moment?
books.
Just doing what you want to do?
I guess. I mean, if you're not at work or if you're not like
Maybe
That's
not
interesting.
living- that's not
That's
living in the
interesting. I
moment,
feel like
though.
that'd be but that
there's
is-
loose plans, but like I mean, you guys have like a set schedule pretty much. You have to bring people in. Like
Yeah, but
we have band practice twice a week.
Try.
We all right.
Yeah,
Maybe not
yes.
lately, but
Yes.
but like in those times,
Maybe
like
3.
everything's just like we're like in auto mode. Like we're going through the songs. At some point, we'll like maybe write a little bit or jam a little bit, but it's sort of like you're not thinking about anything. You're just doing it, and you're like feeling it. You're being there in that moment, and like basically performing something or practicing something that you wrote with these other people. I mean, there's no room for like philosophical thought in that setting. So what I'm saying is like if you can make every setting in your life like that, where it's like totally fulfilling you, then you don't really
But
like
you-
have the space for it. Not
Sure,
not that I
sure,
live
sure,
a life
sure,
like
sure,
that.
Sure, sure, sure. But I guess one could say that your ideas. So what you're talking about when you're talking about like the philosophical stuff, it's kind of like this concept of like what's the future going to be like. You're trying to figure out like where are things going and stuff like that. What puts you in the present could, I guess,
Lead you to
could-
the future.
well, the things that you plan for the future could dictate what your present is.
Yeah,
Because of your
absolutely.
idea of where you're supposed to be at a certain time.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying like don't be creative or make plans.
That's what I'm saying. It's kind of like a weird thing to like balance, you know?
yeah, absolutely.
You know, you spend too much time worrying about what's going to happen. You're not even paying attention to what the fuck's happening.
Yeah,
But you gotta grind. Like it's fucking. You gotta
gotta,
take
though.
action
John Lennon,
constantly
man.
towards
Life
your
is
goal.
what happens when you're busy making other plans. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
Oh,
John Lennon, baby.
That's a good way of saying it. You know, that's why I always found the kind of like balance of science and philosophy so interesting because science is like us proving things that we think like what's the first step of the scientific method?
hypothesis.
Hypothesis. Why do you have a hypothesis?
Because you can see it.
Because you can think
Think
it.
it,
Oh, think it.
and you have to prove
And
it.
then you prove it. So it's our mind, our almost non-logical mind that drives the logical side of us. Because then we're just figuring out why it is that we're doing whatever the fuck we're doing. It's
True.
like that balance, you know? So you need both sides of that. But I can totally
agree.
see how you could go too far down one way. I know
Yeah.
a lot of people
I mean, I
who
had
go,
the unique experience
dove
of
too deep,
taking
man.
fucking.
I want to do ayahuasca. I
so
feel like I want to do
for
this
like
too.
3
Try
to 6
acid
months
first.
after that, you're in like a
Yeah,
state
your
of
ego
euphoria.
gets reset.
I think your
like-
life's a fucking movie.
Yeah, I feel like just a experience like that too. Like I remember going on like a trip to Utah for Sundance like 2 years ago, and that was just like a crazy weird thing of just like like a week straight of just being like in this crazy mountain town.
Yeah,
Lot of
small
like,
town.
Crazy like Prada stores and shit lining because it's like a ski town, so it's normally just like rich people.
Yeah,
So when they're not having the film festival there, it's just like, I guess we'll go buy a Gucci bag today.
it's
you
like
know,
Aspen.
and get
or
a deli
Yale.
sandwich next door. But yeah, it's crazy. Just the trip down there and then the whole ceremony and thing, I just like. It's so off the beaten path of Baltimore and Catonsville and shit that
You
like
get caught up in
Yeah.
your daily routine
Mhm.
and the places you're familiar with, and it's always great to like reset and figure out that like, oh shit, this isn't everything. Like there's
Yeah.
it's
there's
like
entirely
planned culture
different
shock.
worlds.
I think
Yeah.
it's almost like we feel like we measure time through seconds and stuff like that. And that old saying, like Einstein was saying, if you don't believe time is relative, then sit next to a pretty girl for 10 seconds and then put your hand on a hot burner for 10 seconds
Yeah.
and tell me that time isn't relative.
Exactly.
And I think that it's really that we don't measure our time, or time is the construct, but we don't measure our experience in seconds. We measure it in different situations.
Experiences. Yeah.
Yes, and so when your mind gets taken out of that reactionary state, the reactionary state where your mind gets taken out of the autopilot state, and when it gets put in that mode, we're like open to experience.
Looking at things.
Then you
reacting.
take in, and like you can in one day in Utah could seem as long as it's like 4 weeks working your day job,
Yeah.
because you've experienced the same amount of new experiences in that same time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
man.
not really seconds or hours. It's literally just different situations.
It's
You
that,
know,
it's that cheesy
It's
thing
kind of
about
yeah.
the older
It's what
you get.
traveling does to a new place and
Mhm.
sort of like
Yeah.
just finding your way around.
and so that's why I think a lot of people. I remember leaving. When they would leave for college and stuff, and they would always, oh yeah, because I've never been super into traveling. I enjoy traveling, but I think traveling is almost like, it's like the easy way out almost to me. It's like, okay, well, I can't train my mind to absorb new situations in my daily life, so I have to put myself in a position where I have to absorb new situations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, to be very honest with you, and when I say the easy way out, I guess it has a connotation of sounding like it's a bad thing. But when I
It's
say
a quick fix.
it's a quick fix. Drugs, hallucinogens are the quick fix to that.
No. Well, I was gonna say like that is the quick fix to somebody you can't just like take their mind out of.
For sure. And I think when you take what I guess I was getting at was, I think when you take hallucinogens, it's like a shortcut to that revelation.
Yeah.
But one could also argue that maybe you couldn't reach that revelation without it. I don't know. I've never done it, so I really can't speak to
You
it.
should try.
I mean,
But I've
you're
always-
reaching it without it right now. You know what I mean? So.
That's true, man.
But that's what
Maybe
I'm saying.
you shouldn't
Who
do
know,
it if
what,
you're going this deep already.
No, dude, what if I always think about it, what if I did it and it brought me that much further? Then it wouldn't be cheating. It would just be a boost.
I don't think
right?
it's cheating at all. I'm just saying. I think like
It's a faster route. I mean, you may never find like enlightenment, if you want to call it that.
I just remember people.
Either way.
People, I used to call it Towson syndrome, which is a terrible name for things. But they would leave for college and they'd be there for a year, like out of state somewhere. Like, oh yeah, fuck Baltimore, get the fuck out of this town, blah, blah, blah.
come back.
They'd leave and they come back. And I remember thinking, looking at them like, why are you back?
It's familiar, man.
It's because
Familiarity.
it's because what you realized was you thought that your life sucked because everybody at your high school sucked and your parents sucked and this, that, the other thing. But in reality, you went to another place and you attracted the same people, you attracted the same lifestyle, you live the same way you
And
always
you
do,
suck.
and you realize that in reality, you suck.
Yeah, man.
You suck. And so you're trying to escape it by going somewhere else. And then
Yeah.
when you suck there, you're going to move somewhere else.
It's
You
true.
could do that shit from home.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
suck
man.
from home. I could do that just fine.
No. I don't want to say I suck from home too, but I kind of also like going places. But
I like
to-
going places too.
I like to suck.
It's a good thing
on,
to look
on
forward to.
location sometimes.
But like closer places though.
Yeah.
Little
We'll
camping
suck
or
on
something.
location. Yeah, I could do that. I would love to do that. We should go camping. We should actually do that. I would be
Camping's fun.
totally.
Well, that's what's sick about Maryland
I'm
is that like,
scared
you don't
about-
have to go to Colorado to camp. Like Western Maryland is full of shit like that, man. It's
Have you guys seen those ticks that makes you?
Lone
Deer
Star
ticks?
tick?
Yeah, where like you can't eat meat anymore.
Yeah.
Really?
It's so
Yeah.
scary.
What?
Is it like
I've
a
been,
really
What's it
tiny
called?
tick?
I've been
think it's called a
staying
Lone
away
Star
from
tick.
the
What's it
woods
called?
for a little
Lone
bit.
Star.
Lone Star tick,
Because it's got like
Yeah.
a big dot on its like stomach.
and
Yeah,
you just
dude.
can't eat meat.
Yeah,
They say,
dude,
like,
it
there's,
just
like, a
bites you.
protein in your thing, and yeah.
Dude,
That's
one of
Are these
Uh,
new or have they been around?
just
They
like
had
the
it.
Just
last
dropped,
few
dude.
years.
Just dropped.
It
God
happened
just
to,
popped them on here. It was like,
Got these
It happened to
fire
my
Lone Star
girlfriend's
it's the hottest shit
parents'
ever.
It happened to your wait. You knew
My
somebody that
girlfriend's
actually had-
parents' friend can't eat meat anymore.
I don't believe that story.
Nah,
There's
dude.
too many
No
connections.
way.
Wait,
dude.
just meat or like other shit too?
Dude, if you get bit by the
Is your
tick and it
girlfriend's
has
parents'
like
friend
it's like
Kevin
a
Bacon?
souped up Lyme disease.
Oh,
like,
fuck.
It's like
No, he's-
how
it's a
Lyme
real-
disease gets transferred
it's a
through
real
ticks.
thing,
It's just like
but-
a new kind of disease like that, but it fucks up your stomach.
Can it stop you from eating pretzels?
Dude, maybe
Yeah.
that's
Shout
what
out to
I have.
Utz.
Shout out to Utz. No tick alive can stop me from eating nuts. This podcast brought to you by Utz.
That's weird because there's a lot of meat in pretzels.
That could be.
Tons.
Oh.
All those Germans in there.
Dude, we gotta watch a YouTube video about that or something. I can't believe that. I can't believe that.
The Lone Star Tick? Yeah,
I don't
we'll watch
believe
it
that.
after the pod.
I don't believe that at all.
Is it in Maryland?
Yeah.
Fuck.
It's
like
wherever ticks are.
I was thinking about going camping Saturday. Now,
Yo,
now I'm
man.
thinking
Don't let
about
them
not.
stop you, man.
Where are you guys going camping?
I'm not going.
I don't know yet. It's
Yo.
gonna be like on a whim.
Go to
I wasn't-
Assateague. It's
I
a
wasn't
beach.
invited.
It's far, man.
I'm thinking like a without a paddle type situation, dude. Let's fucking go somewhere.
Just set up.
I'm thinking like I was about to describe the movie, and I was like, "You're just really describing just camping." I was like, "Let's go somewhere. Let's set up a tent, maybe start a fire." You know what I'm saying?
Catch
Just
some
like the movie.
fish.
Dude, we
Yeah.
camped last year in where was that? Shippensburg.
Shippensburg. Yeah, that was fun.
We were playing
actually.
Shakemore Festival up there, and like we just drove a little bit out from it because it was at like a venue actually, and camped out there.
So you guys like arranging a tour or something? What's going on with that?
Eventually, that'd be cool.
Yeah, not yet.
Yeah, well,
Probably
you
this
guys
fall,
are playing Artscape this year, right?
Oh yes.
Yeah, that's next Friday,
Next
Dude, big hype,
21st,
big show.
July 21st, 6:30
6:30
p.m. on the
Actually, yeah,
Station North
you know-
stage.
There
Should
you
get out of
go.
work early.
Get there.
Right up North Ave and Charles Street.
What is the loudest fucking thing
Yeah, dude.
I could possibly eat?
There will be free pretzels at the show. actually.
Sourdough. thin.
I don't know
Provided
about
by
the tree
Jimmy
fall in the
Selesky.
forest, but if somebody eats a pretzel in the forest, it makes a fucking sound.
It does.
I will tell you that right now. That's loud as shit. God damn, Eric. Couldn't you got like Swedish fish or something? I could have been quietly chilling.
Shooting right over our plug,
You would have
man.
all those weird.
Yeah, you guys are fucking, yeah, we're playing in North Avenue.
Playing on the North Avenue stage at Artscape. Huge show, 6:30.
Dude, this thing is serious.
Just hold off. Well, we're kind of wrapping up
All
a
right,
little
all right,
bit,
all
I
right.
feel
You know
like.
what? But you know what, guys? Make this quick. Come on. Let's hurry up. I'm trying to eat this fucking pretzel.
He's
That old
hungry,
man.
man.
But so is that just you guys on that bill, or are you guys like at 6:30 and then at 7?
No, it's like a legitimate like one of the stages of ours.
Yeah,
so they
yeah.
have the
Yeah,
the-
6:30 to 7:30 is our slot.
Okay,
But there's a ton of other bands. A lot of Baltimore
yeah.
bands gonna be there.
that's sick.
Gorgol Bordello
headlining. One of the
headlining.
ones. Robert Randolph, the Family Band. They're pretty
Okay.
sweet. I'm a big fan.
The last name Bordello sounds familiar to me.
Is it because it sounds South American?
Sound
Yes. Yes, that's why.
Brazil.
It's a Brazilian follower.
Yeah,
dude.
Picking it up. Picking it up now. Portuguese.
But,
Should be fun though.
yeah, well, it's actually cool because we played at that Light City Fest in the city.
Oh, Light City, right?
Yeah, we played at Light City, and they were like no merch, no no covers, no nothing. And this time it's like there'll be a merch table, and we're gonna try to push them like shirts, and
Perfect.
EPs and shit.
Let people know there's
Some
stickers in
physical
those
copies.
EPs.
Yeah, dude.
No, dude, that's
Only
a
in a select
surprise.
few.
It's a surprise.
Feels like a cereal box type deal. We got
well,
Kind
no,
of.
'cause-
That's
yeah.
cool. But more importantly, you guys are fucking playing here on Saturday, which we got to decide on time.
Yeah.
But you know what? Just
got all
Facebook
day.
call me about it, dude. Facebook call me.
Yeah,
we'll
I can
figure
do
it
that
out.
now. So
Yeah,
I'm
Do
gonna
you,
do it all the
do you have
time.
an iPhone?
No. I have a
Oh.
Droid something or other. I
Shout
don't
out
fucking
for
know,
the
dude.
non-iPhone
I'm too old to
crowds.
know what kind of phone I have anymore. I don't know.
Either way, I was gonna say you could FaceTime him, but I don't know if that works still.
Yeah, I've never FaceTimed anybody.
Neither
Yeah, me
Last
neither.
one-
can.
Not
I've
into it.
Skyped before, like 5 years
I've never
ago,
held
maybe.
a face in
Just
my
like, why
hand.
would I waste my battery on that?
Yeah, I don't want to talk. I don't need to see your face.
That's kind of why I called you. I don't want to look at you.
Yeah. Could have met up, dude. Jesus.
Nah.
Shout
Did,
out to
um,
Chris's mom.
What?
That's why you call and don't.
Don't FaceTime her, yeah.
Oh,
I think he's Skyping your mom, dude.
She
Bad
got
joke,
dissed.
man.
That's fucked up.
you know how the band feels about mom jokes. Jamie wasn't very happy earlier.
No, it's just my mind was blown a little bit. I was like, how do you know that?
Yeah, dude. I mean, hey, it's part of the show.
He just knows.
On the last break, you guys were checking Spotify to see if the stuff was up. Is it officially released now? That's
It
the-
shouldn't be. Today's not.
It wasn't
Friday.
up when I looked, but
Ah, shit.
Oh, it's 12:50. Never mind.
check it out.
It is Friday.
It was 12:50,
I don't think it is.
but the
Yeah,
shit
you
should be
have it.
But
dropped.
it's on.
It's on
like,
iTunes and
yeah.
it's on Amazon,
Google.
and I'll make it non-private on SoundCloud.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Probably in the morning.
If you
Here,
do,
let's see if it's
you
live.
do, what's it called? Title. Maybe on Tidal.
So what do
Title.
you guys have in mind for the studio set? You guys think about doing the EP live?
What would you prefer?
I prefer if you wrote 5 new songs by Saturday.
It's not
Done.
good.
We've already,
All right,
already
cool.
written them.
Cool. As long as we got
It's
that
not-
out in the open.
I was gonna say we'll just do the EP. The 5
yeah, that makes
songs.
most sense. Do you have any other songs?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
We have
Yeah, that
two
makes
newer
most sense.
songs, and we play some old stuff. And
Maybe drop like one oldie. Maybe do a cover. Don't do a cover.
Oh, we could start.
could do a
off
cover,
with
I guess.
A long time, yeah.
Yeah,
Do
we
that
do.
in
We do a
today.
transition with like our old song "Long Time Coming" and 2 of the EP songs like back to back to back to start the set off usually.
Tight.
So we can
That'd
just
be
do
sick.
that. The first
Yeah,
one has
dude.
like a jam in it. It's pretty fun.
Nice.
Cool.
Nice. That's gonna be dope, dude.
I'm not trying to
That's
screw up my
gonna
phone. I was just trying to see where.
be- So like, what do you got? Do you guys have like a like? Okay, you guys are them animals on Instagram. I know that, right?
Them Animals Music on Instagram.
Not to be confused with
SoundCloud.
The
the
Manimals.
Manimals.
The Manimals can eat one, man.
Yeah, fuck it, dude. Fuck those guys. I don't like them already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But them animals on everything.
I
Them
think
Animals Music.
Them Animals
on
Music.
everything.
Instagram, Facebook, Bandcamp, SoundCloud.
I think Jamie. Because
ThemAnimalsMusic.com. Brand new website.
Okay.
we're a company.com.
Yeah.
The Manimals, not music. The
Are you
Manimals,
guys
not
on
music.
badassbuddy.com?
What is that?
It was like a emoticon website for AOL Messenger back in the day.
Oh.
That does
Badass
Just
Buddy.
sounded like the other one, but guys, check
Where
them
you
out
got
at
those?
Artscape. Fucking 6:30.
Yeah, that would be sick.
And listen to the EP. It should be out by the time you hear this. So
And
Static free.
you'll hear the studio session before and after the podcast, most likely, when it comes out. Right?
Mhm. Yeah, I believe so. I
Yeah.
believe so.
And
I don't see any reason why not.
I'll get some video footage of that. and
I'm
we'll
sorry, I zoned out completely. Right there. I apologize completely.
make
Yeah, I
like
kind of forgot
a-
you guys were filming this, and now I feel like I've been. Like,
No, it's all good, dude. It's all good. It's all
Nose,
good.
maybe.
I could feel myself getting so close to eating this. I was like,
man's
He's got to
finished.
end it. Yeah.
man. Yeah, oh, well, actually,
Shout out to Laughable.
shout out to Laughable. Yes, you
What?
got it, dude.
I
Shout
got
out
it.
to Laughable.
It's this app for iPhone right now, and it's coming to Droid soon. But it's like basically a podcast app, but you can look up a podcast, and then it'll index everyone who's on the podcast, so you can be like, oh, let's say a couple weeks ago we had like Mark Normand on, so then go to his profile and then see all the podcasts he's on.
Mm-hmm.
Get to see listen to your favorite comics or whoever personalities, and we're on there. Subscribe to us on there. Get their apps. Tell Ned we said hi, and at Eric Laser on everything. At LFTS podcast on everything.
Yep, guys, at Jimmy Selesky on Twitter. I think that's the only thing. But yeah.
Baltimore Comedy Festival. Check out our booth at Artscape. We're gonna have some sick T-shirts out there for sale.
All right, y'all. Till next week.
Well, he's afraid of what comes next. Doesn't want to settle, not for the best. And he'll run, it's what he knows. Been hurt before, and boy, it shows. Well, he's a man of principle in his own mind, that's for sure. Well, he's hollow in the chest, manipulating, merciless. Well, he's a poor boy, sugar boy. He's got nowhere left to run. Yeah, he's a poor boy, sugar boy. He's a devil, has no soul, losing feeling day by day since he was born. Even when he really tried, can't speak when he looks in her eyes. Yeah, he's a poor, poor sugar boy. He's got nowhere left to run. Yeah, he's a poor, poor sugar boy. Yeah, he's a poor, poor joker boy. He's got nowhere left to run. Yeah, he's a poor, poor joker boy. Yeah, 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 yeah. One, two, three, four. Some days they were loud, some days they were crying, some days they would talk like you and I. She knew he lived at home, she liked ringing his phone, seen the world through his eyes. They talk day after day, day after day, day after day. There's some time before. They play hide and go seek. They'd say let's get a coffee, but the plans fell through. Week after week, he knew her mama was sick. He knew her smile was crooked, but he couldn't help fall for her. And anyway they went. They talk day after day, day after day, day after day. They talk day after day, day after day, to jail. It's sometime before they told Jay off to jail. Day after day, day after day, day after day. It's sometime before. Woke up early while he was still asleep, making him think it was all a dream. Picture, I'm pulling back my voice, but still sure, no, it's not my choice. Been living in a world derived from part of me, but now that I know, and there's a lesson hidden somewhere, little speckled reason in a kill. Skies looking oh so brighter now, freezing cold, but oh yes, why somehow the grass is turning blue this year. I can feel it in my veins. A skill I learned from you, my dear. Call it melody and sound. It tells me this is starting to get old, but the left out trying to unfold this planet. My own every miles, nothing left fast, even without sight. The grass is turning blue this year. I can feel it in my veins. A skill I learned from you, my dear. Call it mentally insane. The grass is turning blue this year. I can feel it in my veins. A skill I learned from you, my dear. Call it mentally insane. Mentally insane. Found myself in next to nothing left to show. Arrogance, complacency, curved into the zone. Dreaming, hurricane with the wind, Colorado waiting. Stuck inside my own mind, yes, I'm no debating. Using myself from the toxic presence in my life. Schizophrenic tendencies, reasons for more I try. Late night breakdown by myself, walking into my own hell. Walls and barricades are rolling faster in this world. Where am I supposed to be? Why can't I stop questioning? Can you give it all your word? Waiting on my 17th rebirth, yeah. Talking myself in and out, it's imaginary. Searching for an answer in a world devoid of meaning. Happy be nesting out of test. Put on your face and look your best. Watching a show with the same perspective, not what I expected. Where am I supposed to be? Why can't I stop questioning? Can you give it all your word? Waiting on my 17 birds, yeah. Over the windows that Bob and pulled down now. Index in his pillow to stop he knows not how. The shades over the windows that Bob and pulled down now. Index in his pillow to stop he knows not how. Gave up all the memories, he gave up all the time. He can't remember now or then, moving pictures in his mind. He gave up all the memories, he gave up all the time. He can't remember now or then, moving pictures in his mind. Gave up all the memories, gave up all the time. Can't remember now or then, precious in his mind. He gave up all the memories, he gave up all the time. He can't remember now or then, with pictures in his mind. Nothing's real but everything is all the same to him. Nothing's real but everything. Nothing's real. Nothing.